YouTube ain't gonna restrict you. Say, man, what's going on? We get ready to go live. 106liveradio.com. We in the building. Check this out. Make sure you share this video. Call all your friends. Let them know we on, man. Hell of a topic tonight. Got a special guest in the studio. It's going down, man. For real. Hold on. Let me bring y'all down, son.
Understand that, because only through God can you break that stronghold, can you break those chains, okay? Number 4, and I know a lot of people tell you this, and this is the truth. It takes time. You will not heal overnight. If you ever been injured before, you know that it takes time to recover. You know you have to go through rehab every single day, small steps every single day to become stronger.
Oh, I know.
But you know that once you're finished with that rehab, once you become that new you, that you're usually stronger than you were before you got hurt.
No way.
So let that pain work for you, not
Honestly,
against
who do I know
you.
that's
Let it build you, not
that
break
left
you.
the MC?
All right, keep moving forward and let nothing hold you back. What's up, Priya? What's up, Priya? Across the road trip.
You?
What's up, Priya?
Besides, man, I can't call me crazy. I have to call Head, but Head he be working with some real feelings and shit. Who we got? It's crazy. I know 1,000 people, but I don't know none. That's more than crazy. Let's see who we got. Got it.
Who you calling?
I think about Tracy.
Who is Tracy? Cincy?
No.
Yeah, how many group you got?
That's why I don't keep up with more than 2 people. 6, 7,
I thought
8,
I
9,
had.
10.
That's what you want to open up with?
Crazy. Yeah, I treat you like a lady. Till you burned out, cremation.
Hey, tonight's topic, divorcing the MC. Do you want to be one of my special guests via phone?
I sure can. I sure can.
All right, well, go get.
Motherfuckers kiss my black ass.
Say, man, just limit the cursing a little bit for me. You feel what I'm saying? All right, well, just you on now. I mean, you here? We in the studio. We get ready to go live in a few minutes, about 2 minutes. So just stay tuned. Just put your phone on, down or whatever. I'll bring you in probably in about. Or you want me to call you back, or you want to just hold on? What you want to do?
Call me back. That way I don't have to just hold down because I'm just walking in the door.
All right, we're
Call
going.
me back. I'll keep my phone on me.
All right, let's get. All right, I got you.
Who is that?
She was in No Rules, No Dues, Houston. They tore her ass up. They put her.
Ramona too.
Oh yeah, I could do. Call Ramona, see if you can get Ramona. We can do Ramona. All
I
right.
don't know if I got her number though.
Yeah, get ready to go on. Ready?
Another one. We the best music. DJ Khaled.
I don't know if you could take it. No, you wanna see me naked. I wanna be a baby. Spinning in his wedgies like he came from Maytag. Burger whistling on the brown liquor. When I get like this, I can't be around you.
what she be saying. I just like that little
Wow,
part.
wow, thoughts.
Wow, 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 wow.
I danced off that whole song.
Say, man, we up in the building, man. Check this out, man. It's your boy Big Cell FHOHNIC. It's Thursday, man. We here another Thursday. FHO Radio on 106liveradio.com, man. We in the building. Chief, you said this what you coming out to, huh?
Yeah. Cinnamon Smiles, though, for
My
the radio.
bad. You know,
But they still know me as Chief.
But I got a personal thing, man. It's kind of like personal, so I got to work on the cinnamon smile. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think it's jazzy. I think it fits you perfect. You know what I'm saying? But them cheeks works too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, believe me, I be in question about why I'm changing my name
Hey,
anyway.
man, it
Yeah,
is
I
what
was
it
the
is.
one. I asked.
You asked?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is,
I'm like,
yeah,
what the hell?
Yeah, let me get some more of this. Oh, man. There it is there,
Just
man.
gotta ring
Wild
to
thoughts, man. I see. Wild thoughts, huh?
You got your steps together, girl?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, wild
They
thoughts.
done
huh?
already videoed it.
Wow. So,
you been practicing in the mirror?
It just came to me.
what's that? This song when you coming out to?
Yeah.
I just want to know. Let me ask you something, man. When the females do come out, when y'all do the introductions, really, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the oohs and the ahs, or the dams and the woes
I
and
got
the
the answer to that question.
What you got? What you got?
They're looking for the mirror in the bathroom.
That's all they looking for, the mirror in the bathroom?
If they
The
only
mirror
saw
in the
it.
back?
Yeah, let me explain it. If you only saw, if some people only saw how they really look, they wouldn't do that shit.
You know what? I had a thing a while back, man, that I did where I told you a lot of y'all females really don't understand that you really don't have no friends. None.
Cause they be talking about you.
Not even so much that if you came out the bathroom looking like that and your homies are like, bitch, you did that.
Oh, let me tell you something. My best friend called me from Savannah the other day. She's like, what are you wearing for anniversary? So I had to screenshot her my outfit. Oh, she was like, oh, because you know damn well I ain't going to let you walk out the house looking any kind of way.
I'm telling you.
So how much ass and titties are we going to see?
Negative. You already know I don't get down like
I'm
that.
just asking,
Y'all been
man.
knowing me 10 and a
It's,
half years.
It's
Why?
It's gonna be like, why? What you do that for? Not you.
Really?
Not you.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
I'm just
long,
saying-
how
I'm
long
just
have
saying
y'all
this,
known
I'm
me
just
though?
saying.
How long have y'all
Well,
known me?
it's
Have
been-
I ever been that type of woman?
I've been on
I'm
you
just
since you was
saying.
just talk.
I'm just saying.
I always carried myself classy, baby.
When
My
y'all
mama
women
taught
come
me
out
right.
on y'all daggone songs, y'all be overdoing it.
Overdoing it.
And
Nah.
y'all need to realize everybody be daggone Facebook Live and y'all when y'all come out. So y'all might want to
Y'all.
practice.
Facebook Live,
Y'all know what I'm
Brandon.
talking. Women
If
and
I-
girls.
I got rhythm.
If
I
I
don't
go
know
back
what
to
y'all
some of
talking
them now,
about.
if I go
It
back
ain't
to
about
some of them
rhythm.
before Facebook Live, I can go back to some of them ones that was that born losers.
Boy, stop. Boy, some of them.
I got some rhythm.
Some
All right,
folks need
well.
the saran wrap like a few weeks ahead of time.
All right, well, here we
Try to
go,
shake-
man.
Try to shake that up. you know
Check
what I'm
this
saying?
out, man. It's Thursday. What's today's date, man? What is
Today is August the 3rd. This year is
August the
almost
3rd.
over with.
Already? It's almost over already?
Shoot, I can't wait till it's over.
I
What
don't
you
know.
got planned for 2018?
I don't know,
Tax
man.
season like a mother.
Tax. He trying to see. He trying to get that bread, man. That's what he trying. He trying to
I
get that
can't
bread.
wait
man.
till the year end.
Woo!
I'll be praying.
So,
come on, Christmas.
How was your
get
week,
the hell out of the
Cinnamon?
way.
How was your week?
My week is pretty good. Got some changes at work, but you know I learned how to embrace change long time ago. So,
Good, bad, or ugly?
hey, the more you know, the better, right?
Okay. Is it more money though? That's what I'm talking about. That's what we gonna talk
We
about.
still negotiating.
If it
Today
ain't
was
no
my
more
first
money,
day.
don't teach me nothing else but what I'm doing. You know what I'm talking about?
That part right there.
Hey man, for me, I had a cool little week. It's been trying for some reason. I'm so anxious to get on the road. I haven't been able to sleep. I got a long journey ahead of me, man. I got like 60 days. For the next 60 days or so, I'll be on the road on the highway, man. So it's been crazy. I got the bike out yesterday.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing. I just, every time I come back off the road, I was going 33 days. I put it in the shop. I played no games because I have to depend on that to do what it's supposed to do so that I can do what I need to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when I get home, I got home July 3rd, July 4th, the shop was closed, July 5th, I went in the shop. I picked it up yesterday, just spent some time with it. That's what I was doing all day today. I didn't
Yeah,
even,
you was making love to it, right?
Yeah, you should. Everybody should make love to their motorcycle. How do you know?
Really?
For sure. You should make love. You should
I'm
spend
just
some
gonna-
time. Spend some
I'm gonna go
quality
ahead
time.
on and put it out there early. I'm gonna talk about y'all Harley Davidson folks.
Oh no, you can't
Y'all-
do that
some
on
of
the
y'all
show. We're gonna
lacking
put
making
you
love.
out of here.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
Listen,
on the
man,
go.
understand, I just want
I'm
y'all
ready.
listen to all my HD followers. I just want y'all to know this is Cinnamon's guest. It's not my guest. This is Cinnamon Smiles' guest. She invited me in. You feel what I'm saying? So all that other stuff. I will try my best to keep him, as straight and
Ain't
narrow
gonna
as
work.
possible.
He
Ain't
ride
gonna
a
work.
gold wing, y'all, but he
yeah.
ain't on no crotch. Well, I'm
Ain't on
sure
no
he's
crotch
still
rocket
on
now.
the crotch rocket.
Yeah, it's still collecting dust.
He
Yeah.
he got one of them Honda Gold Wings.
That's called a grown man motorcycle.
Hey,
Really?
listen, I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you
You
something.
gotta be grown
You
to get on that
cannot
mud.
laugh at the gold wing. As far as smooth,
Yeah.
comfortable road, you cannot laugh at it. I'm where I'm at right now. Put it like that. I'm
I
just gonna say I'm
Have
where
you
I'm
ridden
at.
one?
Yeah, I rode one.
Have you ever rode a sport bike?
Yeah, remember? That's what I started off with.
I don't know. I don't remember you.
I used to
being
look
on
like a
sport
circus
bike.
bear. That's when Pinky and them clown me on. Remember when we was in the curve? Pinky and Storm and all that? I'm in
like
the
a scooter
curve.
dog.
That's when I was taking curves and sections. I was, 285. I'm in 285. They're like, yeah, who gonna ride with this low dude?
Oh man.
Y'all know sell back there. We'll stay back.
What did you ride?
I had a 1000 Jixer.
Really?
Man.
All I ever remember you was on a hog.
Yeah, I mean, that was my
That's 'cause
claim to
you ain't
fame.
been out here
but
long enough.
That was my claim to fame. But I came in.
Sal ain't been
I
out here for
came in
about
on a
10
scooter.
and a half years
10
himself.
years, man. Don't get me that old. I'm brand new to the game. I just fell in love with it like I'm 50 years in the game. You feel what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but I started off on a scooter, went to the Jixer, and then went to the Harley. But
Well, car club,
Man, you told
Jixon,
somebody
then
you
hog.
started on a scooter.
I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And I wrecked it. Ain't got clown. And I collected my insurance money. I had my shit insured, man. It was a $50 deductible. Run that, man.
How fast did it go?
I don't know,
50
not too
miles
much.
an hour.
It was street legal. I know that it was whatever the CCs is. I had to have it licensed, helmet, all that. Yeah, all that. Yeah.
What brand was it, man?
I don't. It was one of them Japanese brands. It was a nice one. It was Japanese.
Watch this. Let me see all y'all old school bikes. Y'all remember the Suzuki MB5?
Never heard of
See,
it.
y'all ain't.
I only heard
y'all
of the.
ain't
Man, I always remember the Elites they used to ride back in the day. The Elites, the Honda Elite.
Honda Passport was
Yeah.
first was a scooter back in
Yeah.
the day.
See, I know
It
that's a
was
car
one
right
for-
now. I just saw a Passport go down the street. The Honda Passport.
Hey,
they
y'all
done
got a
brought
lot
it
of
back.
scooters. They got scooter clubs now.
I see.
Yeah.
I saw.
They got full patches, y'all.
Damn it, man.
See, they better
Don't
stay-
run their ass over.
And they better not come up in our motorcycle community.
All right, so
Jones don't
so
like
we
them
here, man. We here. Listen, man. I'm gonna say this. I've gotten a lot of calls about this topic, divorcing the MC. We started off part one with, first off, happened to let you guys know that you did recognize that you got married to the MC.
Yeah.
Then last week we kind of talked about the relationship. How, what role did you play in the relationship? Did you uphold your part of the relationship? Did you cook and clean like you were supposed to? Did you, make love to the MC like you were supposed to? You know what I'm saying? Did you come home on time like you promised to? All that old good stuff. So this week we're gonna try to finish that part of it and go into the actual divorce part. How to divorce the MC and how to leave amicably, or if you're gonna leave and burn the bridge, never to come back. But me personally, I know for a fact that with what I do with FHO, that I will be around the MC set. I love the MC set. I have no issues with the MC set. I mess with OMCs all the way down to 88%. I'm saying I'm gonna go. I'm saying I'm on all levels. So real quick, y'all know how we do. We're gonna do this motivational thing, man, and then we're gonna get right back into this topic, man, for real.
Let's do it.
We're available on all app stores. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All at 106 Live Radio.
What's up, Brianna across the world? Trent Shelton here, another week, another video. I've been getting a lot of messages on Facebook and Twitter. A lot of people emailing me, asking me, Trent, how do I move on from a situation? Like, I know I don't want to be there. I know that situation is causing me pain. I know that situation is toxic for my life. I want to move on and stay moved on. Look, I don't have all the answers. Only thing I can do is tell you how I moved on from certain situations in my life. What worked for me, okay? Number one is remember the reason why you left. All right, stop going back to that hot stove. Stop driving back to that dead end. Stop playing the game that you already know the outcome to. When I talk about that hot stove, it's like a kid, right? You put your hand on that stove and you never did it again. Why? Because you remember the pain. You remember how bad that it hurt. That situation is that hot stove. All right, if the actions haven't changed, guess what? That situation is still going to bring you pain. Stop putting your hand back on it. Stop driving down that street. It's the reason why you don't drive down certain streets no more, because you drove down once, you drove down twice, and it came to that dead end, so you took another route. That situation is that street. You know it's going to come to a dead end, so stop driving down that street. All right, stop playing the game when you know the results are going to be exactly the same, okay? So number two is remember who you want to be and how you want to feel. Remember that you want to be that best you. You want to be successful, but that situation just tore you down. You wanted to live your dream, but that situation didn't support you. You wanted to be happy. You wanted to put a smile on your face, but that situation brought you tears. That situation broke you down, okay? So remember how you feel. All right, write that down somewhere so you can see it, to remind yourself every single day so that can push you forward and not pull you back. Number 3 is identify the magnet, aka that stronghold, all right? The promises that pull you back, the loneliness that pulls you back, the temptation that pulls you back. You gotta counter attack that feeling. Develop an escape route. All right, so maybe when you're feeling lonely, you go work out that makes you feel great. Maybe you find that accountability partner that reminds you of why you left. Maybe you get into your favorite scripture. Maybe you give your heart to God so he can place it in the hands that deserves you most. Understand that, because only through God can you break that stronghold, can you break those chains, okay? Number 4, and I know a lot of people tell you this, but this is the truth. It takes time. You will not heal overnight. If you ever been injured before, you know that it takes time to recover. You know you have to go through rehab every single day, small steps every single day to become stronger. But you know that once you're finished with that rehab, once you become that new you, that you're usually stronger than you were before you got hurt. So let that pain work for you, not against you. Let it build you, not break you. All right, keep moving forward and let nothing hold you back. But like I tell you in every single video, it all starts with you. And I want to say this before I end. I believe that you should fight for a relationship, but I don't believe that you should be fighting for it alone, all right? Remember, it all starts with you. Live it, breathe it, be it. It's rehab time. Let's get it.
Wow.
Wow.
Say, man, you should fight for a relationship, but you shouldn't fight for it alone.
Never.
That's right.
Anyway,
I agree.
take some of that. However y'all need it, you need to flip it, flop it, take it, apply it to you, make it work. You feel what I'm saying? That's my man Trish Shelton. Check him out on YouTube. Killing the game right now. All right, disclaimer. Drum roll. Check this out. All that. Okay. If somewhere in this broadcast it sound like we talking about you, or it related to you, or you was caught up in that situation,
We're not.
or we don't know. We're not talking about you. If your club, if that situation happened in your club, or was familiar with the club, similar to your club, we're not talking about your club. We don't even know. You feel what I'm saying? Unless we say your name, we are not talking about you. So please, hold all feelings, thoughts, all tender dick moments, and all that
In
other
your
stuff.
feelings.
You know what I'm saying? Hold all that to yourself. And again,
Feeling some type of way.
please, if you have an issue, give me a call. Please don't let me wake up on Facebook and find out we're no longer friends. Wake up the next on Facebook and find out we're no longer. I'm tired of that. I really am. For sure. All right, so divorcing the MC, which where we left off at last week. This week, my girl Cinnamon Smiles got another hit in the room. We're gonna let him introduce himself, and his MC, and then we're gonna get into this thing, man.
He has a disclaimer too.
All right, let me go and put my disclaimer out there too. If you're gonna repeat what I said, make sure you repeat everything word for word, the way I say it, exactly the way I say it. Don't try to daggone doctor it up or exaggerate it to make it fit you or fit the story that you about to tell, or the lie you about to tell, I should say. Make sure you tell it exactly the way it is, because one thing I don't do is lie, because I ain't got enough daggone brain power to remember the lies. So I tell the truth all the time. I tell the truth all the time, because the truth will always remain the same and it will never change.
And it will set you free.
Yep, most of the time.
Right,
Sometimes the truth will get you behind locked up.
All
right, anyway, without further ado, I'm J-Dog, President of Revolutionary Riders. Everybody know my daggone government name is Chris Jordan. That's my government name. However, J-Dog, President of Revolutionary Riders, I was asked just a little while ago how long I've been President of Revolutionary Riders, and I think it's been somewhere around coming up on about 12 or 13 years.
That's a long ass time.
It goes by real fast when you stay busy, I promise you. And at the same time, I've held the seat as chair over the state of Georgia on the Georgia Council, and currently I'm the chairperson of the South Atlanta Coalition, Atlanta Bikers Coalition here in Atlanta. I think that's everything about me.
Yeah, it is there.
That's everything.
One of the things, I'm gonna get into this. One of the things I want to say is this, man, and I'm gonna let everybody know this. Me and you we've been kind of not really on the same. We haven't been seeing eye to eye. So it actually was was um, a decision for me when Cinnamon said, "Hey, I got J Dog to bring you on the show," and a lot of it had to do with. Well, and I think last week you kind of answered a lot of it.
Okay.
A lot of it when you spoke on being the head of the table at the council, and it just how the council just totally just rubbed me and just rubbed me that way. But what I want to say is this, brother. One thing about me is I do not hold on to grudges. You personally never done nothing to me personally, and all whatever disagreements we had or whatever whatever. You went left, I went right, and it is what it is. But I definitely thank you for being on the show today. And one thing about the FHO radio show, all we wanted the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth.
So help you God.
So help you God. You feel me? So
Clarity.
Cool.
And that's what we're doing. Me and Cheeks, we're not the Messiah. We're not the golden rule. My whole entire mission for this whole entire show was to at least see the elephant in the room, talk about it, and then let us figure out how to remove the elephant.
Cool.
You feel what I'm saying? So
I
a lot of people won't talk about the elephant. They're just
I know.
Okay. I'm like, you niggas excuse me, y'all ain't seeing y'all don't see this big old you know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things too. So everybody that's listening, first off, if you're brand new to the FHO radio show, grab your popcorn, grab your soda, grab your Kool-Aid, whatever you're gonna grab, because it's gonna get wild. We don't cut no corners. We try our best to stay within FCC sanctioned function or whatever you want to call it, but we ask the tough questions and again, this show is not just for anybody riding motorcycles. This show is for if you have a brother, a cousin, a loved one, a sister, an auntie, if you're a girlfriend or whatever. This show helps you understand what's going on in the motorcycle community. It helps you to have a better relationship with the person that you're in on the motorcycle set or in the motorcycle set. Also, if you're trying to get onto the motorcycle set, we hope that you can use this show to give you a little bit more knowledge on how to come onto the set.
Yes.
A lot of people come onto the set
Totally wrong.
Totally wrong. You know, went out and saw Biker Boys. Shout out to my man John Bunch. His claim to fame is John Bunch gonna tell you up and down, I wrote Biker Boys. So shout out to my man John Bunch. You done saw that. You done saw Torque, whatever else, the little motorcycle.
Piece of shit.
Yeah. But they done saw it and they done went out and you know what I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying. You done went out and bought your little leather onesie and everything. And you ready to go. You know what I'm saying. So anyway, man. But it's rules and regulations to the motorcycle set, to the motorcycle community, and we have to honor them. We have to follow them in order for the set to survive.
That's right.
One of my biggest things that I argue with, and this is my biggest fight, is my prayer is to make the set back private. I think the set is too public.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And we need to get back to that private
Secret
entity.
society.
Yeah, we need to get back to that. Not that we're doing anything that the public, don't know, but if we keep the public out of it and we start governing it accordingly, I think that we can get back to true brotherhood and the sisterhood. So
I agree. See, what happens is, my friend, is that a lot of people want to be a part of the community, but they don't want to do what it takes to get in the community.
Exactly.
So they want to force they want to, in my own opinion, force their way in. And when they can't deal with what goes on in one club or another club, they say, well, shoot, I'm gonna start my own club and don't know jack about starting the club. So from there, to me that's force. If you want to put on colors without thinking about how you set your patch up, or that without knowing that you're supposed to have a minimum of 5 members all on motorcycles, if that's going to be your officers, a lot of them just don't understand that that's what you have to do. And a lot of time that you have to put in the work in order to become a motorcycle club. Not saying that you have to physically do anything or oblige any one person or any one group or anything like that, but you got to put in the work, because out here, one hand washes another, and if you ain't washing no hands, and I don't mean anything out of the way, anything like that, but if you're not supporting anybody, nobody's going to support you. The first question that's always going to be asked is, who the hell are you?
Period.
And who do you think you are? Coming in on our community, thinking you know what you're talking about. You done stepped on somebody's name. You got an event before you even have a coming out event. They just do all the wrong things, and then when somebody step to them, not necessarily aggressively, but when somebody tap them on the shoulder and say, hey brother, hey sister, come on over here, let me talk to you, because I see you a new club on the set, but yet you haven't followed the proper protocol, the proper MC protocol.
Not to cut you off, but do you think, and this is my, and I need to thank you. I need to figure out how to say it. One of the biggest problems I got with the set is this: is that we,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna say we,
Now,
we will see a violation happening
and won't say nothing about
and
it.
won't say nothing
That's
about
not
it.
true.
No.
I will.
I mean, but listen to what I'm
You
saying.
can't,
Select
individual,
few.
you can't individualize.
That's why I said the we.
And that's the
understand what I'm
best
saying?
way to put it.
Yeah.
Because when you say we, that means everybody's responsible. If everybody's going to be a part of this community and love it like they say they do,
Yeah.
then everybody has to take responsibility not only for those on the inside, but those who want to creep into the inside
part.
and don't do it the right way.
And this is my thing too. Like I tell people, if if you allow, it's just like your house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I use this all the time. You know, it's just like my mom got rules in the house. It's rules in the
That's
house.
right.
Mom and dad got rules in the house.
Absolutely.
Okay, and your friend come over and stay with you and violate the rules. Mama might not say nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
She might let you know, but when he leave, when they leave or whatever,
Trust me, she gonna
they
say
can't come back. Number one,
Yeah.
and number two, your ass is in trouble.
That's right.
Because you didn't say nothing.
You didn't say nothing.
You didn't protect this
Yeah,
house.
period.
You didn't treat this house
Yeah.
like it was mine
Yeah.
and yours to be. You know, and that's what a lot of clubs don't understand. And me, I personally, well, I don't want to say personally, but I hold presidents responsible, because presidents, we are the leadership. Think about it like this, presidents out there that are listening. We are tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we are today, we are tomorrow, because all those clubs and all those leaders and all those, old heads that have come, the Lord eventually going to call them home. So we are tomorrow. It's just like I was having a conversation just a few weeks ago, saying like, damn, man, I'm 48 years old here in next month. 48 years old, and I've spent.
Ooh, you getting old.
Yeah, that's called wisdom. But watch this. If you keep living, hopefully you will eventually get that too.
Amen.
But I've been on this set for almost 20 years.
That's a
20
long
years
time.
in Atlanta. 20 years in Atlanta. That is a very long time. And in that time, a lot of relationships have been built. I hope none have been severed, but some probably have for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, because you're one of the most hated people in the community.
Not just.
Well, but
probably
see,
in
what
the
I'm
whole
telling you,
state.
what I'm trying to tell you is
Probably in the
this:
state.
he cleared it up for me last week, because he took the blunt of a lot of stuff. Because understand this. Let me tell you something. When you got this man standing up there, and I can only use an example that I have.
Mm-hmm.
The OMC say, hey, whatever the president say, they tell him, hey, run it like you supposed, do the vote like you supposed to do it. He does the votes. The president's vote, yay. And then the OMC come back and say, oh, they voted at it? No, we ain't doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got to be the one to come back and say, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made him look, to me, it just destroyed me in his relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, dude, I'm figuring he's supposed to be standing up and, this and that. But at that time, I wasn't as well knowledgeable as I am now, and I really never reached out to even. I just canceled the relationship and threw it in the trash.
But look how God worked though.
Yeah, I mean, but it ain't even so much God. What it is that once you understand, and again, my OMCs, I love y'all to death. I truly do, and I got to be careful when I say this. But a lot of it has to do with the fact that, hey, you want us to know, but you really don't want us to know.
I can agree.
Well, not to defend anybody, but let me just say it like this. What a lot of people don't take into account is that when leadership change, views change.
Gotcha. That's
So
perfect.
one leader may be looking at things one way. They may be knowledgeable. They may be a little bit more flexible in things. And then another leader that may come in after that particular leader may say, you know what, all that junk we did, I didn't, not necessarily going against his predecessor or the previous person in
But that ain't what he on right now. That ain't what
he just didn't feel.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, that not only happens in the OMC world, that happens in everybody's club. When leadership change, views change, and some people don't like. But shoot, I didn't vote for you because I don't like your views. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna leave this club and go and start my own club.
That's the problem.
And that's a
He
lot
done
of
said
the
that
problem.
twice. He out about that. He done said that.
No, I mean, but it's
true
true.
though.
But this
Watch
my
this.
thing.
That's how
Watch
new
this.
clubs
Watch this.
start.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I remember when I moved to Atlanta, December '97. I bought my first bike, not my first bike ever, but my first bike in Atlanta in, I think it was February of '98. February of '98. And I was immediately introduced to a motorcycle club through, believe it or not, through Street Angels. Right here in this building where we are.
I heard they taught you how
Right
to
here in
ride.
this, no, they didn't teach me how to ride. They taught me how not to get left behind. But watch. And from that moment, I was in the motorcycle community. I was in a club called Redline 24/7 back in the day, and we had one leader, and that leader's still around, and everybody who's been around long enough knows that leader. He's a good guy, but he went astray. He did some bull crap. So that club, failed in a matter of months. I had just got my colors. I prospect for 90 days, and then they gave me my colors, and less than 3 months after that, it was over. It was over. Okay. And when we went from that club to the next, it was the same people, except the few that had done wrong. So, but the views changed, and me being fresh, I was like, God damn, wow. Yeah. And then, even with that core of officers, they had problems on the inside amongst themselves. They didn't agree. So it was only a matter of time before we sitting in a meeting and almost half the club gets up and say, you know what, this ain't for me. Walks out, start another club.
I mean, and I hear you, but this is what I'm saying. Okay, I got all that. To me, that's the small petty stuff. Yeah. I ain't knocking that. Okay, because again, I got to bring it back to the head of the table. Okay. And back then it was a little easier because back then we didn't have the councils, we didn't have all that. Right. Basically, you went to, if you was cool with so and so, you went to so and so and said, "Hey man, this is what I want to do."
Yeah, it was okay.
It was okay. So, but what the biggest thing is this too though. It come back to the we, because if the we had been strong in the beginning, no matter what y'all or they did, it would have never been accepted in the we crowd.
All right. Well, let me drop a little history right quick.
Okay.
When the motorcycle community, I'm gonna call it back in, let's call it 2000, 2001, 2000, between 2001 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah, the motorcycle community was very small.
I got you.
On the sport bike side, it was only roughly probably 7 clubs. At best, not more than 10. At best 7. You had your regulators in the zone, Redline 24/7. International Riders. Who else was it? Street Angels was out there.
What's my
Rough Riders.
Corey Bull and them. Corey and them. No Name. Was they all right?
Yeah, No Name. Yeah, No Name with Wolf. And, with Wolf and them. No Name. Rooster. I promise you, it wasn't a whole lot of clubs. So new clubs coming in was easy, right? And then you had your old school clubs. Your old school clubs. They were all cruisers. Proverbial line drawn in the sand. Old school didn't want to mess with new school. Cruisers didn't want to mess with sport bikes. Line drawn in the sand, and it was cool to be separate, right? Biker Boys comes out, and I'm gonna say probably around 2004. Biker Boys come out, and you get this explosion of clubs right here in Atlanta, because Atlanta was hot back in the day. Atlanta was hot. I mean, everything was going on in Atlanta. Atlanta was the place to be. That's why I'm here. Then with all these clubs popping up all over the place, this is what happens. Everybody goes out and get a bike, and then people start dying. People start dying. I mean, going down like fire.
I mean, we was doing when I first came to Atlanta. It was funerals.
Oh yeah, man, it was going crazy. Yeah. So presidents got together. I wasn't a president back then, but no, not yet. I'm gonna say probably late 2003, 2004. Presidents got together and said, you know what, we need to try to calm this down, because the DOT, the Georgia DOT, not only came down on sport bike riders who was killing themselves, but they said we're gonna do 100% all motorcycle safety stops. They called this motorcycle safety stops, but in all actuality, they was profiling bikers. Not only black bikers, white bikers, cruisers, outlaws, sport bike riders.
And that caused a problem.
That caused a problem. So the OMCs got together. Well, before that. So MAG happened, Motorcycle Alliance of Georgia, and we were strictly about safety. Rough. Yeah. We were strictly about safety, trying to slow folks down and save lives. It worked. It started working. I mean, we were going out here, we was teaching people how to ride, how to ride in groups, how not to drink and ride and kill yourself.
Ooh,
and we were wearing patches, the green and blue patches, saying if you got this patch on, you stand for something.
Gotcha.
Right? But now you got this explosion of clubs all over the place. And then it gets to get out of hand again. So the OMCs came and said, look at here, y'all better control this with all this, with all this rigmarole going on the highways, or we gonna control it for you. And we don't care who you are, what you riding. If you tearing up the highway, be on the lookout. We coming for you. So in turn, Uncle Chucky came and said, you know what? Hold up. He was the president of CAS back then. He said, hold up. Maybe that's not the way, because he was president. Different views. Maybe that's not the way. Let's take MAG and make the Georgia Council. It was just here in Atlanta. The other outlying areas of the state didn't have the problems that we had in Atlanta, because they didn't have the highways that we have. They didn't have the speeding problem. They didn't have the population. They didn't have the number of clubs popping up all over the place. They didn't have
it. Dugans and Barnacles.
That too. They had Dairy Queen. They had the Dairy Queen. But so they didn't have that problem. So they didn't have to be a part of that.
Yeah.
It was just here in Atlanta.
Or the Frozen Palace.
Yeah. That was the spot. So in turn, that's how the Georgia Council was born. And watch this. It wasn't just sport bikers and outcasts. It was Psycho Kings, Born Losers, Strikers, Atomic Dogs, who else? Cass, with Uncle Chucky. All the sport bikers that was a part of MAG, and we came together and said, James Gang, let me not forget James Gang, with Nikita, and said, this is how we're going to regulate and police ourselves. Then we were doing good for a minute. Then somebody got the nerve to say, y'all can't tell me what to do. Nobody can't tell me what to do. If I want daggone do 140 miles an hour down 20, let me do it. If I run into the back of a tractor trailer and decapitate myself, then that's on me. But here's the downside. Too many people dying, ain't got insurance. So now we got to start begging folks. I'm going to call it begging.
And let me tell you something. The worst thing you can do is send me a GoFundMe for anybody on a motorcycle set, because I'm going to clam.
This was before GoFundMe.
I'm
talking about fish fries.
Pass the hat, fish fries, car washes, whatever you understand me. Mm-hmm. I tell you all, I love y'all to death,
but I ain't doing it.
But I will never.
Not doing it.
And I'm telling you right now, if anything ever happened to me, and Queen put out a GoFundMe, she just trying to buy a new motorcycle. Because the insurance is already paid and already in place. So
gotta have it.
You understand me? But anyway.
So that's what happened. So when people started saying, you can't tell me what to do. I don't care about your coalition. I don't care about the Georgia Council. I'm going to do what I want to do. Now we got 200 clubs inside of Atlanta. 200 clubs.
300 and something.
It was crazy. Whatever the number was, it was crazy. You have the people that was participating in MAG and the people saying, excuse my daggone language, but screw you.
Yeah.
But not that word. And it was blatant. So the old heads went their way, and here we are left with the Georgia Council. Because the old heads was like, man, I'm not getting involved in that.
I'm going to have to slap me somebody, huh? And we got to do a commercial break. We done went all the way to Cheek. Cinnamon. Hey, man.
We got to pay some bills.
Yeah.
Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. All at 106 Live Radio.
Recording Studio provides professional online audio mixing and mastering.
Say, man, y'all. Call in 404-464-8785. We on, man. We give you a real history, then we're going to get back into this thing, man.
Video games,
and again, man, we can't do this without y'all participation. So make sure you call in 404-464-8785. I'm not giving you the toll-free number. You know what I'm saying? All y'all got cell phones. Also, we got another caller we're going to call about the voice of the MC as well. So.
Again, that's DAMMAHUM recordingstudio.com, or call them at 404
That's what we have to do. That's what we got to go to.
0779.
That's what we have to
Again,
go.
that's 404
779.
Southern Art Bourbon and Bar is a modern Southern cuisine for the entire family.
I'll call him.
We offer great tasting contemporary Southern, Creole, Cajun dishes for just
all
under
the way
$30
out there. I'm telling
with
you,
a 4-hour complimentary valet parking. Our dining style is simply casual. We're open Mondays to Saturdays at 6:30 a.m. and on Sundays at 11:30 a.m. Come in and see us today at Intercontinental Buckhead, Atlanta, 3315 Peachtree Road, or visit our website at southernart.com.
What's good, man? It's your boy Big Cell FHOH and I see. Check this out, man. Fast Harley's Only is not just for the Fast Harley enthusiasts. It's a brand, it's a lifestyle, it's a movement. So grab you some fast and let's ride. Say, man, we back, man. That's that Jay Zigga.
Y'all know nothing about that.
Hey, I want y'all to know too, Cinnamon picked the song tonight. She said she was feeling hip-hop-ish.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. All right, so check this out. 404-464-8785 is the number to call. My man been giving you a history of everything, how it all parlayed. We gonna just tear away from that right now and get on the subject. So we're talking about divorcing the MC. We were talking about last week your role as far as your responsibility in the relationship. One of the things I want to tell everybody is this, man, is that in anything you do, I don't care whether it's MC or whether it's whatever, MC, Boy Scouts, or whatever, you have to have some type of responsibility and commitment, and a responsibility to the commitment. Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of people join organizations, and when they first think about it, they gung ho. Yeah, well, man, I'm gonna give it my all, and then as you get into it, it starts. You all go from a little bit of y'all to some of y'all to none of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? And you have to stay committed to that. One of the things
for the wrong reasons.
Well, I mean, a lot of times, and I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of times, they really thought that this is what they wanted to do. Yeah. They really did think that, because it looked like it's something that they wanted to do.
Yeah, it looked easy.
Yeah, but then they ended up finding out that it was a lot more work than what it is.
So, what's the hardest part about being an MC for you?
For me?
Not you. Yes.
Me? For you?
Oh,
for Jay.
You can call me.
Yeah, actually, both of y'all answer that question for me.
You can call me J Dog.
But
J Dog.
What's the hardest?
What's the hardest part about being in the MC to you?
Well, the hardest part about being in the MC to me, and as being president, because I've been president for so long, is carrying the load for those who should have part of the load and they don't. That's the hardest part for me. But I do it because I'm dedicated and I'm committed to it.
That's
and I got passion for it. I tell folks a long time ago, and when I was trying to be on the Georgia Council when it first started, and because I was in MAG, they didn't want me. They didn't want me because they say, J Dog, man, we always see you by yourself, so we kind of worried about you. And I'm like, worried about me for what? I said, man, I build relationships out here. Ain't nobody trying to dang on beat me up. And then, hold on, let me say that right here. And then, the one time anybody ever approached me in a violent manner at any type of event, I said something and it came true. I said, just because you see me by myself don't mean I'm by myself. Watch this. I said, I got 200 presidents that got my back. I said that because I felt that the leadership that I was providing was real, and the folks that was supporting me was there for me. And when I looked around, they just so happened to all be in that area, and it was like, oh, that's one person you ain't jumping on tonight is J Dog. And that tore to my core, because I said it because I felt it, and right behind me it was right there, that support from all those presidents. And that's what relationship building does. So the hardest part is sometimes carrying that load, but when I got people supporting me, I'll always be able to do it. Not just me, but any president.
One thing I can say, the reason why, and I say you're always alone, because I'm gonna tell you this, and there's no disrespect to your organization, but I don't know nobody.
I know that, and they know that too. Okay, but this is what I tell. The only one. But this is what I tell all my boys. Yeah. Back in the day, it was just me. My boys was grown, or they were with their mom. I wasn't in a relationship. It was just me. So it was a lot easier, and I own my own business. So it's a lot easier for me to control my time and get out there on Saturday night.
I agree.
And then what I would tell my boys is, at the time when we had so many people in my club, most of them were truck drivers. And I would tell them, I'm like, when you on the road and you out there 2-3 weeks at a time or whatever, however, you come home in the street with me ain't where you need to be. Stay your behind at home, because I don't need your significant other or wife calling me mad at J-Dog because J-Dog got you in the street when J-Dog don't control that. Tell your girl, wife, or whatever that J-Dog told me I need to be at home. I don't want to be at home. See, that's called being honest with your people. And if you get a new girl and you like being in the street, tell her from the jump, baby, this is what I do. This is who I am. Be man enough to say, I like being in the street on Saturday night hanging out with my motorcycle folk. If you can't deal with that, then I'm not the person you need to be with.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is this. If for me now, I'm just saying this for me. I feel that, to me, truck driving, school, I don't care what it is. And it's just me. Ain't no excuses. You got the same responsibility, I got the same responsibilities. I got wife, I got kids, I got all of that stuff too. But if I'm out here for the MC, giving my all, then you should be out here right along with me for the MC giving my all.
Totally agree with you.
I had to understand this though, and this is what I had to understand. like you said, the level of commitment, the passion, and dedication is different for everybody else.
Yes, it
But
is.
this is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm out here doing what you won't do, leave me the hell alone.
You're right. But this is what I this is
those be the ones that give you all the problems, all the complaints.
You're right. But this is the way we do it in Revolutionary Riders. We got a saying in our club that the motorcycle club would never come in between a man and his livelihood. That means if he out there grinding, doing his job, do your thing, because Revolutionary Riders can't support your family.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Second, Revolutionary Riders will never come between a man and his family. Be there for your family. And if something happens to you, then it's our job to be there in your place for your family. And third, Revolutionary Riders will never come in between a man and his God. So if we up on Sunday morning and we won't ride and you want to go to church, hey, that's you. You do that. Don't talk down about it because he want to go to church. Let the man go to church and honor his God. He does it his way. Other people do it their way. Now, once you got all those three covered,
I can see why you by yourself.
No. This is the thing. No, this is the thing.
Saying because to me.
Because see, when you overcommit to when you you got to understand, because see, when you say watch this,
I want to go to church.
Watch this. I want to go to That's cool, but watch this.
I want to spend time with my family.
See what you just said. When we have our anniversary event, our annuals, everybody that ain't out there and don't know nobody, and they hear it come from people like you, then they be like, "Damn, I got to change what I done did," and it has changed
because we have stuff.
See.
It's anniversary time though. They ain't
No, we got time. No, we ain't till next year. We only have.
I'm just saying because we already know how that 60 day.
No, we don't do it like that.
Only clubs come out before anniversary.
We don't do it like that. Because I tell folks I don't need no fake ass people around me.
Yeah.
I ain't got time for that, because what I'm gonna tell you about yourself. If you ain't gonna be real, Revolutionary Riders ain't the place for you to be.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I ain't got no filter. And I'm gonna tell you what I think about you. And if you got sensitive skin, Revolutionary Riders ain't the place to be. Now, me as a leader, and this is where leaders don't understand about what it takes to be a leader. Just like and we talking about relationships, so I'm going to bring it home.
Yeah.
You're not going to always get 100%. You're not going to always be able to give 100%. However, when one person is lacking, somebody got to step up. And that's why I say, we have turned that corner, because we got more people coming into our club, more people that's dedicated. We got some old cats in our club that's just not their thing no more. So we got to daggone. And I told them, I said, if y'all don't want to do it, you can't daggone block somebody else from coming in and showing your ass up.
Yeah.
You can't block that. So when they got that, then we start then people seeing what we're doing, and new people see what we're doing, and they are attracted to our club and our morals about the way we handle business. So you see more of us out now. Back in the day, 100, I agree with you. I was the only one out there. Was it scared sometimes? You daggone right.
It ain't even about being scared, because you had to respect, you had to love. But like I said, for me, my thing is this, man. I tell everybody like this, and I tell a lot of my so-called best friends, and I say that not no disrespect, but I tell a lot of my so-called best friends, if you want to stay my friend, don't join my MC.
Exactly.
Please don't join, because we're gonna lose that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna hate you. I ain't gonna say hate, but I'm gonna just dislike you, and there's gonna be some messed up stuff going on.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's a question that's always asked for anybody to inquire about the organization that I'm in, Diamond Clusters.
Mm-hmm.
Is your dedication to a person, or is it to the
club?
Or to the club?
If your dedication is to a person, that ain't the place for you to be.
This ain't the place for you, because I can guarantee you, most people that join an organization is because they cool with that person.
And when they leave the dance, you gonna feel obligated to leave the dance with them. Go home with who you come with. That ain't cool, and that's not cool. Join the organization for the organization and what the organization stands for.
Yes.
Well, again, in their club, you got action. In mine, no.
Mm-hmm.
Have your ass here just like I'm here. Go home, fuss with your wife just like I got to fuss with mine. Yeah, tell your boss why you ain't working. Boss, he ain't working because you tired. Yeah.
Too many people on these bicycles, or on these motorcycles. I said bicycles. I was gonna say something else. Too many on these bikes are scared to or not man enough to put their foot down at home.
Listen here, man.
That's won't be
no. What he said is the truth, but that ain't the show today, because we got 7 days. We can talk on that. We ain't gonna talk on that. So,
but it is. That's what keep a lot of people from. If they say they love this, the wife at home who don't understand, because I'm not saying that the guy should tell everything, but
Pillow talk.
Nah, I don't want to necessarily say pillow talk. I'm gonna say communicate clearly, baby. This is what I like to do, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do everything I'm supposed to do at home. But when I get my honey-do list done, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't have no honey. I'm not honey doing nothing. You can tell me what you need, little sugar. You know what I'm saying? Let me know in the morning before you go. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna knock that on out. Don't add nothing to it. And, you know what I'm saying? And we good to go. Other than that, but all I'm saying, folks, is what we're saying really, and we're having a good time right now. What I'm saying is this: is that it takes some responsibility and it takes some work in a relationship. You can't expect for the MC to love you if you don't love the MC.
Wow.
You feel what I'm saying? You can't expect.
What a clap.
You can't expect for the MC to answer your questions when you ain't even put in you haven't even given a question to the MC. So for those people, and we're talking about relationship, we're talking about this how the divorce come about. So you got a person who is dedicated, they cooking and cleaning, they doing everything in the MC, and then here you finally come home, you feel what I'm saying, and you want to fuss because today I forgot to do the laundry.
Exactly.
But you ain't said nothing about the grass that was cut, the everything else that's been done. You want to fuss about the laundry.
Looking at the negative.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this: everybody at every MC has their own responsibility to the MC. The MC cannot function without you.
That's correct.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? The MC,
family.
your part. Well, we got 100 members, and what do they got to do with it? Your part is needed.
Yep.
It's just like in a relationship. If you don't go home and take care of your business and make love to your wife, somebody else will.
Or your man.
Say that with your man.
Or your man.
Somebody else will. And that's what goes on. So now you haven't done your part in the relationship. So now the MC has kind of just, they don't went on without you. They don't went on without you. It's time for everybody to now say, okay, well, hey, let's he a member, but he whatever. You know what I'm saying? He'll work himself. He'll work his own self. Because now when you come around, don't nobody know you. You don't know what the hell going on. So now you tripping. So now it's time for you to get angry because you finally got a weekend. Because like my man J-Dog just said, your wife is gone, and now you the head of the castle. Because ain't nobody else in the castle. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? So now you got that. You got action at that. Well, but understand this, man. And I want you, and I kind of keep trying to bring it back to this. The responsibility of the MC falls on every individual person, period.
I agree.
Every individual person, period. And it's the same thing with a relationship. It's the same thing with a marriage. You married the MC, you promised to uphold the vows, the rules and regulations, you promised to be there for the MC, and now you're not there, so now it's time to figure it out. My biggest thing is this, like I said, I don't want your excuses. I don't want, well, dude, I'm working, I don't want none of that. You knew all of that before you joined. You knew your work schedule. You knew your religious schedule. You knew your wife's schedule. You knew you had soccer on Tuesdays, kickball on Saturdays, drill team on Thursday. You already knew all of this.
Counseling on Saturday morning.
You already knew all of this.
Some folks don't know how to manage time.
You already knew all of this, so I don't want to hear any of that. Let me see, caller. State your name and where you calling from.
Yo, my name is Bam. What's going on, J-Dog?
What it is, Big Bam. This Bam. This Bam. This one of my members.
What's going on?
Oh, you do got other members.
See how they climb up.
Support.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, man. What's going on with you, Bam?
What's happening, Bam?
Hey, no much. Hey, first of all, I just want to tell J-Dog, hey, man, I love you, man, and thank you for being my president.
Love you back, boy.
And teaching me, the ways of this life as I carry on. I've been with Revolutionary Riders just a little over 2 years. And, J-Dog, he'll get on me, when I do something stupid. And I don't have no problem with that because he's very knowledgeable. And I appreciate what he teaches me. And, hey, one thing he had taught me is extracurricular activity. He knows my personal situation. I ain't going to put it out there where everybody to know. But one thing I can say is 20 of us, and I get support from 40 people because everybody put in 2 times the work in Revolutionary Riders.
Wow, that's big.
Thank you, brother.
So that's one thing I can say about my club.
So Bam, but what's happening with the topic though? Are you? Let me ask you this: are you married to the MC or is the MC married to you, man?
It's a little bit of both because first of all, I'm a man of God. I married my wife in God's eyes. I didn't marry the MC in God's eyes. When I chose to be a Revolutionary Rider, I chose it as an extracurricular activity and to also want to help in the community. My thing is, just like any other young black man, grew up without a father and all this other stuff, and since I've been with Revolutionary Riders, we've been able to do certain things to help people out, like the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's something my daughter came up with. She's a cancer survivor. Just being able to hang around these guys and learning and talking and this, that, and other. I work 2 jobs. You know, my wife, she ain't the kind of woman that's trying to hear about me coming home past midnight, because, like I told J-Dawg, anything past 12 o'clock, that's the next day. And I'm not going to disrespect my house with that.
Respect.
Yeah, I played softball for 20 years, man. I traveled all over, played ball, and throughout the 20 years, I almost lost a woman that I got down on one knee and asked to marry me.
That's a long way down, too.
Hey, that's a long way down. J-Dawg said, hey, I ain't no skinny brother.
Yeah, and hard to get back up, too.
Hey, man, this 350 right here, and I ain't talking about no motor. But the thing about it, though, you know, man, hey, I love to see everybody. If I had the time to get out as much as I could, I would. But, you know, throughout respect to your home, you got to give your home the respect first.
Happy wife, happy life.
That's right. Even though you do your honey-do list, even though you cut the grass, go see your girlfriend on the side, all that other stuff, whatever the case may be.
Don't be telling no secret.
You still got to take care of your home. You know, you have to take care of your home, because me being the man that I am, if I don't take care of my home, then I'm a failure.
Wow.
My motorcycle, J-Dawg, everybody in that club, they're going to be there for me 100%. Whether I'm cutting grass or working the other job or being there with them, they're going to be there for me 100%. So that's what I love about putting that double R on my back.
Okay, well, I appreciate you turning this into the Revolutionary Rider Show. Bam.
I got to, man.
I know you don't got to, Bam. Bam, I'm finna holler at you, Bam.
Hey, man. Hey, look here, man. Y'all be good. God bless you.
All right.
And take care. Y'all take care of my sweetheart in there. Don't y'all put y'all hands on me.
Say, man.
Your sweetheart.
All right, we ain't gonna even find out. He gone. He out of here. So I see you do got some dedicated members. That's nice to know.
Oh yeah, we got them.
So we at the part now where, like I said, you done everything. The relationship. When I'm saying the relationship is you done everything, I'm talking about the one that was married to the MC. So you done everything you can do. Now it's that time to make that separation. You know, it just ain't the same no more. You don't. You lost that feeling. First off, do you believe you can lose that feeling?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can lose that feeling,
Yeah.
and a lot of times, the feeling leaves, and then it'll sit. The feeling will be gone. Or let me say it like this: the thrill will be gone, but the man ain't man enough, or female, whatever. The member is not man or woman enough, or have courage enough to say it, and then they wait for some, petty daggone situation or some petty reason to say, well, I'm going to cut ties. And that's not the way to do it. I always say this about everything. If I wake up one morning and I don't feel like doing it, then it's time to not do it no more. I spent 10 years in the Marine Corps, and I remember the day that I woke up and said, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. It took me a year to get out because I was under contract, but it was time to sever ties. And it was just something burning inside me saying that, you smarter than this. Nothing against the men and women that serve. But for me personally, it was time to daggone step off. So when my time to get out came, I left, and it was tough, but I prepared myself, and I had to make that move, because my destiny was awaiting me. And a lot of folks think, well, how they gonna look at me if I leave? I'm like this: I'll respect you more if you say, bruh, I'm leaving, and this is the reason why. I don't like your ass. And I don't want to be around you no more. I don't like your daggone leadership style. My first thing is going to be like, well, maybe I need to change. Is there something about me that turned you off about the club? Because when you in a club, you're not just married to the president. And a lot of people don't understand that. You're married to the club and every one of the daggone personalities in that club. And as a leader, leaders are put in place to manage all of that and keep, all those personalities happy to a certain degree. I gotta play daddy, I gotta play mama, I gotta play counselor, I gotta play counselor. Hell, I done been the daggone financial advisor. Hey, what? Pick me up on side the road because I didn't take care of my ride. all that junk. But at the same, and that's not just me, myself as in J-Dog, but I have no doubt in my mind that if that call goes to anyone of my boys, they understand that that's what's expected of you. I don't want to hear no excuses. If a brother call you and he on side the road, you sitting your behind home watching football and you say, man, wait till the game over. Nah, you get your behind up. If you don't have a trailer, you get a trailer and you go take care of your brother.
Right.
That's how we do it. There are other clubs out there that don't necessarily do it like that because they're like, shoot, I ain't going to pick that. I ain't even answering the phone because I don't like him. Or who she thinks she is. I don't want to put on what she got on. That trivial bull crap. And that's because they're not mature enough to understand that, we all got, in order for a family, any family, even though it might be dysfunctional to a certain degree, in order for a family or any kind of an organization to thrive and thrive together, everybody got to put their part in. Everybody got to put their part in, and everybody has to be, totally committed to it.
Okay, we got a caller. Call the state today. Where you calling from?
This Miss Red Diamond Cluster.
Oh, hell.
Hey, Red.
Y'all club gangbang on me today, huh?
No, let me tell you though.
Here she
I
go.
am married to my MC.
Girl,
And I say that because I started out in the Birmingham chapter. Our Birmingham chapter dissolved. And I came to the Atlanta chapter because I love my diamond. I'm married to my MC.
Congratulations.
Because my friends decided not to be in this club or that club. No. When I made my commitment and I went through that probing period, oh my. When I went through that period to earn my code, I treasure my code.
And that's a good thing. See, what a lot of people don't understand is that the word that you said when you earn it. When you earn it, you don't want to just, you take care of it. But when somebody just give it to you, you don't know what you got. Yep, you don't appreciate it because you don't know what you got.
Right, and let me touch on what J-Dog just said about how some go on and your brother's supposed to be there. This past Sunday, when we had that event at my sister's house, my bike broke down on 20. Within an hour's time frame, my sisters were down the spot with a trailer, my bike on the trailer, and we still made the event on time.
That part right there.
We talking about
That's what you call
okay, cool.
Sisterhood, right there. When you come together, no matter what the situation is, hey, I gotta help my sister. Hey, I gotta help my brother.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Love and your commitment of what you chose to rock on your back.
Mm-hmm.
And even with that being said, I mean, we had the trailer in place, but we had other members from other club, Capital City. Then had one of the front runners ride by and stop and turn and help load the bike and everything. So that's what I mean when we're a secret society and we all work together to make things happen. Because within an hour we was where we needed to be on time, and kickstands up and everything.
Well, for me, like I said, for me, and I definitely know your leadership as far as with sitting with Cheeks, y'all president. She's good people, and she pays attention to detail, and I think that's what a lot of it has to do with knowing your members and knowing when it is. But I wanted to say this real quick. We gotta go to commercial. When J-Dog was speaking on earlier, let me tell y'all something. There's nothing wrong with realizing that you're in the wrong relationship.
Yeah.
You just gotta be able to say it.
Hey, I've been there.
Yeah, there's nothing.
You gotta be woman or man.
You gotta be man.
There's nothing wrong with that. I think a lot of people, they just stage this because they don't want to feel like but with it, like I had somebody tell me, well, man, I'm just gonna stay, man. It just, no. If you're not happy, why in the hell would you stay?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
You'll be miserable.
But we appreciate you, little sugar. Thank you for calling in.
Thank you, Red.
All right, Red.
We'll talk to y'all later.
All right.
Holla at you.
Miss Red Diamond Clusters doing their thing. So check this out, man, real quick. If you're not happy in your MC, and I'm not ever telling nobody to leave the MC because that is one of the hardest decisions to make. But not me, J-Dog, or Cinnamon Smile. We don't know. Only you know.
Only you.
Only you gonna know when it's time. You can't even call us and say, "Well, what do you think?" I can't because that's not a decision for us to help you make. Only you know. And when you know, it's best for you and the MC to go on and just file for divorce. You know what I'm saying? The thing about it is how do you do that? How do you file for divorce? We're gonna speak on that when we come back, man. Y'all stay tuned. It's your boy Big Son FHOH Cinnamon Smiles, my man J-Dog on the FHO Radio Show on 106liveradio.com.
Broadcasting live from the hip hop capital of the world. This is 106liveradio.com, where excitement meets diversity 24/7.
Top 40, hip-hop, R&B, mainstream, reggae, soca, old school. Listen to all your favorite hits here on 106liveradio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me as Jimmy DJ SB every Sunday from 4 to 7 p.m. Eastern Time as I take you back with the best old school flavors for the grown and sexy and for the lovers.
What kind of comments we got over there?
Favorite old school reggae, soca, and funk.
What kind of comments we got over there?
We got a good one. If the significant other has the same love and passion for the community, the understanding between the two should be very clear.
Sunday with DJ SB right here on 106liveradio.com.
Bam say you want me to come back? No.
What's up, y'all? This Hog Like Prayers, Gorilla Blue here on the West Coast, Las Vegas, baby. Bumping 106liveradio.com, FHOHNIC. The host with the most that keeps it real. The rest of you folks know the deal. Stop running your mouth and ride your bike. Peace. This is your boy, That Guy Nephew, with the mighty K9 Nation out of Annapolis, Maryland. And you're listening to the one and only Big Cell, Fast Harley's only FHO Talk Radio. So do me a favor, run your motor and not your mouth.
It's your boy Big Chick, Reverend MC all the way from California. And I stay tuned in to FHO Radio on 106liveradio.com. Big Cell, making the motorcycle set great again nationwide. Come on, Cell, let's ride.
It's Big Manny, West Coast All-Stars. Listening to FHO on 106liveradio.com. Big Cell, keep doing your thing, homie.
It's Heavy D up here in the studio with Big Cell, 106liveradio.com. I'm proud of you, young buck. You doing your thing.
Say, man, we back, man.
We're back.
Hey, we back, man. Real quick, we got a caller on the line. Caller, state your name, where you calling from.
What's going on, y'all? This is Screw Hog Life MC Mother Chapter out of Compton, California.
Compton in the house.
Screw, what's up, man?
What's up, family? How you doing, brother? How
I'm good. Man.
You don't know him.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Screw, you remember me?
Oh, I remember you well. That's why I called up.
What's happening, man? What you think I just know people in Daggone? You think I just know people in Georgia?
No, I'm just...
I talked to Screw. Man, we came in Atlanta a long time ago.
Yeah,
when
man,
Hog Life
it's been a minute.
Yeah. What's happening, brother?
Oh, slow motion. Well, this is my question and everything, because I was listening to you speak about the origin of the council and everything out there. Also the topic and everything that's going on. And, you know what I mean? And what I wanted to ask was kind of like on topic, and you know what I'm saying, and also dealing with what you were speaking about as far as the origin of the council.
Mm-hmm.
My question is this, and this pertains to divorcing the MC community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and this is, you know what I'm saying, this is kind of gets deep because I don't know, I believe I remember you know what I'm saying, one of the times was at that meeting we had, at that big old president meeting.
Yeah, that's when we met.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a lot of people that voted for us, you know what I'm saying, for whatever reasons, for Hog Life to come to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of people that voted against Hog Life coming to Atlanta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you was one of the ones that was like in support of no new members.
That is no new club. That's correct.
No new club, excuse me.
I was.
All right. And this is what I wanted to ask. And this is the reason I was asking, because we have brothers, you know what I'm saying, that are out there. You know what I mean? Brothers that are connected to Hog Life for a long time. You know what I mean? And we're still, you know what I'm saying, really, really wanting to come to Atlanta, you know what I mean, and be embraced by the community.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have you know what I'm saying, when you have brothers that are not, you know what I'm saying, when they patch that they choose to wear is not welcome in that community, and they don't want to just go and say, hey, I'm going to join this club or this club over here and everything, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, you know what? Well, I might as well just go ahead and divorce the whole motorcycle community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do y'all think about that?
Well, one of the things, too, Screws, I want you to understand is this, and that's what I brought to him, too. When it was during that whole situation, Hog Life was voted in. It was told by the OMC, whatever the president say, They did the vote. The presidents voted yes. It was we won they won the vote, and then OMC came back and changed it.
And in the same meeting.
In the same meeting. Well, they changed it overnight that night.
Late on that
evening. That evening. So one of the things and that's what turned me off with the council and turned me off with the whole entire thing, because it's like if you the man and you say, hey, whatever they say, then we with it, and then you come back and say, oh dang, I didn't think it was gonna pass. So no, it's a no go. But what I want to tell you is this, man, and I tell everybody this: Atlanta is just one of the strangest animals that I've ever seen when it comes to the motorcycle set.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I've been all over the world. I've been in different places, different states. But this Atlanta thing they got, man, it is just it's crazy, because I'm gonna tell you something. You couldn't do any of the stuff that they doing in Atlanta on the West Coast.
Of course.
I know. It's a whole different beast. It's just totally different. We're gonna respect you, but you're gonna respect this get out in general. I'm gonna let him answer the rest of your question, but I just want to put that in there, because I was mad at him, not realizing that it really wasn't him. You understand what I'm saying? But
understood.
Yeah, that's what I was mad at.
Yeah.
So
now this was what Screw's talking about was before I was even on the council. I was just this was when
I think Dirty. It was
Dirty was the liaison.
Snowman.
Yeah, that was back in that area when we was in Front Runners Clubhouse over there off of Church Street. That tells you how long ago it was. And I'll tell you why I said no. I said no because, one, if I say something now, it's gonna be the same. Unless something changed in the rules. Now I'm gonna tell you, a lot of those presidents that voted yes, many of those presidents weren't even stationed here in Atlanta. So they just threw their hands up saying, yeah, hell, I ain't got to deal with it, so I'm gonna go on back to Macon or wherever they was from at the time, and we just gonna roll with it, because that was a statewide presidents meeting at the time. But at the same time, a lot of presidents in Atlanta, including myself, said no, because Atlanta was already busting at the seams, and when you got clubs disrespecting other clubs, stepping on each other's toes, saying I ain't got to respect you, I'm trying to do my own thing, that's when we had to put some brakes on it. When I say we, I'm gonna say we as presidents. And a lot of the presidents that will vote for somebody right in front of their face, will I promise you make a phone call right when on the outside of the door and say, I don't even know why I said yeah, I should have said no, so I want to change my vote to no. And the Georgia Council and the OMCs, man, that's what they had to deal with. So then it got to the point to where, the OMCs was like, or Cass at the time was like, you know what? Y'all ain't gonna be going back and forth trying to make us look like the bad guys. We gonna make the decision for you. And that's how inevitably Hog Life didn't make it into Atlanta. So I tell it the way it is, because it's the truth.
Well, one of the things too is this, and I'm going to say this because this has been a question that's been brought to me. How do you, and again, how do you stop an already existing club and or a national organization from coming to a state?
Easy. I bet you if California in any jurisdiction in California say it's closed, I don't care who you are, you ain't getting in.
No, but that's that. But I'm telling you, Georgia, and I'm just saying that Georgia to me now, and maybe it is that way. And now Texas, Dallas is like that, but Houston is still wide open. My thing is this: is that the rules dictate that, and I did the research on this from all over here. They took the already existing clubs and the national clubs over the brand new clubs, because they knew that the already existing clubs and or the national clubs were already knew the rules and regulations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
You're right.
So the new clubs will get pushed back if another club wanted to come here. I think one of the biggest things is this: it made Atlanta look like they were scared of the growth of the migration of the West Coast or the East Coast or whatever. That's what it made it look like.
It may have looked like that, but this is what it is. There's only 52 weekends in a year. If you take out all the ones that you can't do nothing on, that's all those clubs that, let's call it 15 years or better.
Okay.
And you take, and let's call it 25. I don't know how many it is. Let's call it 15. You take those 15 weekends and you take them out of the bunch. Then you take the holidays out of the bunch that people don't want to deal with. Then you only got a certain set of daggone weekends left. If you got 200 clubs fighting over that certain set of weekends, you're going to get disrespect, beefing, which can go.
But is it about the weekend?
Man,
everybody want to have a
I
party.
don't care. I'll say this. Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead, Screw.
Well, not to be like, you know what I'm saying, harping over, you know what I'm saying, a sore subject or nothing like that, but one of the things that was stated in that meeting was, you know, we didn't care about having no weekend. We just wanted to be embracing the community in the proper way.
And watch this.
And I know specifically,
Everybody
you remember that. Let me finish if you don't mind.
Sorry about that.
You're right. A lot of people do say that, and a lot of people don't mean it, you know what I'm saying, when they do say it. But I will say this. And this is why I said, you know what I mean, you have cats that are ready to, like, you know what I mean, divorce, like you say, the entire motorcycle community because, you know what I'm saying, we have a brotherhood and we have brothers out there that are ready to come to hog life and everything, you know what I'm saying, in that region, and they want to be able to fly their patch, you know what I'm saying, with freedom and everything, with the proper freedom, you know what I mean, but if it's not allowed and everything, and, you know, like I said, you can't just come kick your feet up on somebody else's coffee table and say, hey, I'm at home.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying, fix me a plate. But I'll say that the reason I mention that is because, you know, you have cats, like I said, they don't want to go join such and such club that's already out there or such and such club. And, you know, at the time, like I said, we didn't care about, you know what I mean, about having a date or an annual or whatever like that. We was willing to, you know what I'm saying, comply. And when you think about the whole little thing, man, with the way everything went down, that after that meeting, you know, when they shut us down, when they, you know what I'm saying, within 24 hours, I didn't even get the courtesy of an email. We had to find out in a roundabout way. You know what I mean? And I was really deterred by that, man. You know what I mean?
Well, we know.
If you look to this day,
go ahead.
If you look to this day, one of the reasons, like I say, you got certain cats that don't want to join other clubs for whatever reason they choose. But if you look on the Georgia Council to this day, All Life ATL is still on the blackball list.
Nah, we don't
carry a blackball list anymore.
We don't carry a blackball
compliant list now.
We don't carry a blackball list, man.
Well, you know, whatever, for lack of a better term, your non-compliant club list. You know what I mean?
We don't even have a non-compliant list.
Tell them why we don't have a non-compliant list.
Okay, well, we get away with that for some years now, man.
Most hated.
We need to go ahead and update their website then.
They're in the process.
That was taken out, man, because, you know, there were folks out there suing Chris Jordan. That's my government name. Everybody know that.
How many times?
I got sued 12 times over a non-compliant list that I didn't even update. I didn't even do it, man. I still don't know how to update that website to this day. Mug was suing me like.
No, but like I said, I'm telling you, man. And this is just real talk. It really made Georgia look like. I'm telling you, man. Georgia took a hit because of the Georgia Council, because of the way it was just set up. Because everybody said, well, it ain't got nothing to do with the president. The OMC running. So if the OMC running, then you might as well do the traditional way. Just go speak to the OMC, get the blessing, and go about it.
Well, let me say this, and a lot of people say that in the backdoor meetings, but nobody says that in open.
I got you.
Cass has never run the council. They have always been all the way back since Uncle Chucky has always been advisors. OMCs don't have crap to do with the 99% side. They
can't
don't
say that. They just in that particular situation.
No, let me finish.
But they still get the last word.
They have the last word because they're the dominant of the state.
Okay,
and
so
that's just out of due
if
respect.
They got the last word. That means they got the first word. They got the only word.
But it's just like this. It's just like
if you remember, like I said,
you're right.
We had 119 votes. You know what I'm saying, within our favor. So you know what I'm saying. So
no, but what I'm saying is this. What I'm saying is this.
If you don't mind, let
go
me,
ahead.
There's no way you can say that. You know what I mean? That one club. You know what I mean? Can override 119 votes for, you know what I'm saying, to embrace a brotherhood into the community. So that really is confusing to me. I mean,
it's not confusing. It's to me, it's BS. Understand this, and I'm gonna say this, and we gonna get off. We totally off subject. I'm gonna say this: if the OMC has the final say, that means they got the first say and the middle say. So no matter what, everything else that's been done in between or before, it don't matter, because if they say no, we could go through a 6-month process and we can complete every rule, regulation, transition, and everything else, and be 1,000% confirmed and do everything right. And then they say no, and it's no. So therefore, and I'm just saying, I'm on some 100%, keeping it 100. They control the council.
That's not so. But it's like this: if the presidents can't come to an amicable agreement amongst themselves, then somebody got to make the decision. And at the time that we're talking about, man, people were going back and forth. Stuff wasn't getting done, and wasn't being clear, wasn't amicably, agreed upon, because you had people going back and forth. This group gonna do what they want to do. That group they gonna do what they want to do. And there was a line drawn in the sand, or a sense of division amongst the 99 percenters, the 99% clubs. So in turn, they had to step in to a certain degree. Like I said, back then I was not on the council, but I mean, as a president, I was right there. I went to every meeting. I was right there. So and that's what a lot of people fail to realize and tend to forget, is that there was a lot of turmoil going on in the 99% community itself. Hell, we couldn't daggone control ourselves, so somebody had to come in here and do it, because, like I said, the DOT, the Georgia Council was very, very young at that time, and the DOT was on us. The DOT was on us, and we were daggone, as I'm gonna say, the 99% side, youngins. Man, we were messing up big time. We weren't being respectful to our old heads. We weren't being respectful to OMCs. So they had to step in the daggone, put some draws on it.
I mean, and I got you, and I'm not. We already understand the existence of it, but what I'm saying is, to me, you can't sugarcoat the fact that if they have the last word, they have the only word. Everything else is irrelevant.
I mean, you can say that looking on the outside, but man, I done sat down with these cats, and I know, I can say myself that they would say, well, we're going to do it like this. And I'm like, hold on. No, we need to do it like this first. Not in a disrespectful manner, but we need to do it like this. And I need y'all to trust us that we're going to get it done right. It's just like bringing all the other coalitions throughout the state on one page. At first, they say, man, that should have never worked. And I'm like, yes, it will. You got to trust me. Let me talk to these folks, and we do our very best to get us on the same page. And look at us now. The entire state falls under the Georgia Council. All the coalitions make up the Georgia Council. Every coalition throughout the state has an equal voice, not just Atlanta. It's something that we as a state are unified. There's no more division between Macon and daggone Savannah and Atlanta and Columbus. We're all unified and on the same page. That took progress, and it took a whole lot of hand holding and talks. And
I got all of that. I got all of that. That part, like I said, I got all that. And we needed the unification. I got all that. And I'm gonna tell you something. Because of that unification, Atlanta has slowed down, and Atlanta has gotten better.
Yeah. A lot better.
But what I'm saying is this, though. At the same time, what I'm saying, and what you guys, I think what Screw is saying is this, is that you guys are killing the buzz of real cats that would love to be a part of organizations, but you're trying to get them to go join. For what I'm saying is this. I'm gonna give you another example. Second to None. Okay? Major organization, 19 chapters, but they can't come to Atlanta. Hog Life, 7-8 chapters, but they can't come to Atlanta. And so forth and so on. And again, I don't mean to bring them. I'm sorry about even bringing them club names up, but I'm saying these are major organizations.
Hold up, stop. Second to None is commissioned in Georgia.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. They're part of the.
I think it was an older club that y'all was talking about called Second to None. They carried the same name, but it's not the Second to None.
Okay, because the Second to None with the Second to None with the 6 guys with the ape hangers on their Yeah,
they're not here.
Yes, they are.
I can call they not here. Trust me. I'm telling you, they not here.
Well, then y'all might want to check, because somebody wearing y'all junk.
Listen, they did, and what happened was
I was just at a North Atlanta coalition meeting about last month, and I promise you he was in that daggone. I promise you he was there.
You talking about the dark skinned tall dude?
I can't say it was him, but he had
Second to None is not in Atlanta. They want to come to Atlanta. They want to come.
I promise you, he had on the Second to None.
They want to come to Atlanta.
That's everybody like this, and all the men are in a V. I promise you, they in Atlanta.
No, sir.
Second to None, Atlanta. Anybody?
Well, let me say this. You know what I'm saying? Tying it all in, right? I guess, you know what I mean, with the issue and everything right now, that's kind of like, say I'm about to go get married, you know what I mean, but I got to listen to my wife cousins and complete all these tasks and everything, you know what I'm saying, before, or they ain't gonna let her marry me. You feel what I'm saying?
If she allows them if she allows them to do that, and your marriage to her is being held in the balance, you might want to talk to her.
No.
Not a cousin.
You missing the point where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? The dictating factor is, you know what I'm saying, is the powers that be within the state of Georgia, you know what I mean, that's disrupting the marriage, you know what I'm saying, that I'm trying to establish, a relationship, so to speak, that I'm trying to establish, you know what I mean? Not necessarily me per se, but that our brotherhood is trying to establish with the community. You know what I mean? And that's why I said something about. That's why I termed it in those words.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Because it's like, hey, if this is our brotherhood out here and everything, you know what I mean, and we want to be married, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this too. Not to cut you off, Screw, but we got to go to the next. What I'm gonna tell you is this: a lot of it has to do, and I'm gonna say this, and this is no disrespect to Atlanta. It is no disrespect, but a lot of the clubs that are voting for other clubs not to be here are the clubs that don't go nowhere. So they comfortable with just what they. So that's what I'm saying. So when you have, because let me tell you something. For me, this is how I look at it. For me, it's a privilege to have the top 10 clubs existing right here in Atlanta because that shows Atlanta. That shows the heart, the strength, the soul of Atlanta.
Right.
But a lot of people take it as a downfall to say, well, we don't want Second to None to come because they're going to take members from this, members from whatever stupid ass reasons that we hear all the time. But I look at it as though it's this. Intimidation. I look at it though as this. When you go to a city, and I'm in California, you got Second and None, Rare Breed, Choppers, Hubs. I mean, you got all these powerful clubs. You feel what I'm saying? Existing in the same thing. That tells you that the West Coast bike set is the truth. But then when you come here, we got the smaller clubs that don't nobody really know anything about, and they have the right to have their clubs and do all that thing. But I'm saying, for me, all my life I've been taught that listen, man, when you are a national club, you knock on the door and say, hey, man, we here. The respect is that let you come on in. But then when you get to Georgia, you're not going to do, no, we don't care who you is. It ain't nothing happening. Which is cool because we're trying to filter the state. I'm going to tell you this, Screw. It has changed from that situation to now. I would say this. The processing of the whole entire situation is a lot better. There's still, to me, picking and choosing clubs that can and cannot come in, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And we can get into that because we do know 4 or 5 new clubs that have come about in the last year.
And if they support now, let me go and say, let me answer this. If they support clubs, that's
totally
different,
totally out of
that's totally out of the way. And I'll be the one to say that in Atlanta there have been no new clubs that have not been support clubs for at least the last 2 years, 2-3 years.
So if you come in, you got to come in under.
You got to come in under support under OMC as a support club.
So my question is for Scrooge is, are you willing to wear a support patch to come?
They're not gonna do that.
They're not gonna do that because
I mean, I'm just being real.
They're not.
But why would they? Why would Second and None? Why just Rare Breed? Why would they? Because they've already proven who they are.
I mean,
all across the world. Yeah, but I mean,
it's a legit question.
And then this was so cold, especially after what our man said last weekend. Anybody wearing a support patch? Anyway. But
hey, drop signs. No,
you gotta go watch the show last week. Go watch the show from last week. That's all I can tell you. He spoke on the support patch thing. But we getting all the way off the subject. Hey, Screw, I love you. I appreciate the phone call, Daddy.
Love you too, brother. I appreciate y'all. J-Dog, y'all stay up. All
right, bro. Good to talk to you, brother.
All right.
Good to talk to you.
One of the things I want to get into real quick, we got to get to this divorce thing. Okay. Divorcing the MC. How do you do it?
Well, first, you got to know it's time to be divorced. Then what you do is you grab all your stuff with that MC logo, that MC name on it.
Yeah. And give them their shit back.
Drop it off to the sergeant at arms spot and say, they say, hey, man, thank you for the experience, but I'm gone. Okay. It's simple as that.
It's just that simple.
It's just that simple. Make sure your dues paid up. And,
don't give you no reason why you can't go nowhere else if you desire to go somewhere else.
So let me ask you this. So how do you feel about I don't want them to go nowhere for 6 months?
Well, does the presidents agree, man?
Well, that's just if the presidents agree, and usually it means most presidents that I know won't just say hell no. If person that's leaving has left in good standing per se, they delivered all the stuff they need to deliver, paid dues up to all up to date and all that good stuff. I haven't seen a president say, "Nah, just make that mug wait."
Seen it.
I'm just saying. I'm just talking about my experience.
Just
talking about my experience. They're saying, I haven't seen anybody say, "Nah, just make that mug wait" for the hell of it. I haven't seen that.
I've seen it.
Most of the time, it's okay, and they just let them go.
Call us, state your name.
Yeah.
Hey, Smiles, if you ask me one more time for me to say my name, you gonna have
You know what it is, man. Facade Assassin.
Hey, boo.
Hey, so let me ask this question because I'm a little befuddled. So if you say
you a what?
I'm a little befoozy. I'm a little confused here.
Yeah.
What are you confused about?
Go ahead and
So
say it.
if y'all say that the OMC has no say so over what's
said that.
going on in y'all
We didn't say that.
Nobody said that. See, you didn't listen to the disclaimer. You didn't hear the disclaimer. Nobody
So
sitting at
if
this
we have
table.
no
Nobody
hand,
said.
if the OMCs have no hand in that,
Nobody
why do they
said
have the
that.
last say so?
Nobody
They're
said that.
advisors.
Nobody said that. Nobody said the OMCs don't have no say so. Nobody said the OMCs don't have no hand.
Oh, okay,
let me go on. Here in Atlanta, here in the state of Georgia, the OMCs let us make the decision first. If we can't come to an amicable or agreeable decision and they have to step in, then they step in.
But what he said is in the last situation, we did come to an agreeable decision.
But at the time, watch this. See, Hog Life tried to get into Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
The situation was brought in a president's meeting where the entire state was there. Okay. So a lot of that 119 that voted for them
was from another.
That don't have nothing to do with the process.
The process. The process at the time, the process was not even carved in stone. It was just a process that somebody said maybe we need to do it like this, and then say, well, let's try it. Because Atlanta didn't have a separate coalition per se. Atlanta was just the Georgia Council, and then presidents from the entire state would come to that meeting.
Okay.
Whereas the other outlying areas in the state had their own coalition, their own bylaws and things along those lines. So when the vote was raised, you had folks from all over the state voting for Hog Life. And half of the folks was gonna get on their ride if they were on their bike and head back to their rural part of the state, and then Atlanta was left would have been left with the club. I'm not gonna say clean up.
But before that though, but hold on.
What's the problem with Hog Life coming if everybody voted yes, brother, is what I'm saying. If everybody voted yes, what was the problem with Hog Life? Even if they was going to get on their bikes and go back to their respective areas.
But let me even take you back further than that. I'm telling you, the OMC stood up and said, okay, hey, y'all vote on that.
Exactly.
And if y'all vote yes, it's a yes. That's what they said.
Exactly.
And so...
and then watch this. When that meeting was adjourned... They had too many people coming up to the stage saying, man, I voted yes because he was standing right there, but I really didn't want to vote.
That ain't got nothing to do with it.
I'm just telling you what they were saying.
Let me ask you the question. So when a person do that, who phone is that you voted yes? You already voted club in, let the club come to the city.
I know that. But this is the thing. And
I really believe that people on the council have their favorites. And I'm just put it out there.
Well, let me say this, man.
I can agree.
Let me say this. Back in the day, I'm not going to say they did or they didn't because I wasn't on the board. But I'm going to tell you how it is now. Ain't no such thing as favors. Because if you come to me and ask me, hey, man, I'm trying to start a club. I'm going to ask a couple of questions. Why you want to start a club in a dang on area where they already got 200 clubs? Why you want to start? Why you want to do that?
What make your, let me say this.
I'm not talking. Hold on, man. I'm not talking about national clubs. I'm talking about brand new clubs. How long? These are the questions that I ask. Well, and this is the answers that I get. Well, we trying to do our own thing. We just trying to get out here and do charity work and all that good stuff in the community. And my answer is very simple. You do not have to be in a motorcycle club to do charity work. Just get out there and do it. You don't have to be in a motorcycle club to ride your bike. Get your ass on it and ride it.
But like Sal said, most of y'all don't even ride your bike. So why hate on the next club?
I ride my
bike. Atlanta as a whole.
Questions, brother.
I know. I'm about to give you that answer. I'm about to give you that answer.
Personally, 5 and 6 years ago, somebody said, "Oh, silent assassin, you can't be a 1%. Won't you join one of these?" I said, "No, sir. I'm gonna do my thing," and that's exactly what I did.
Okay.
So
where you at though?
The Georgia Council can't make no club or no person put a certain amount of miles on their bike. That's a club issue. That's internal. So that ain't got nothing to do with it.
The main objective of being in a motorcycle club is to have a motorcycle and ride it.
You don't have to be in a motorcycle. You don't have to be in a club to ride a motorcycle.
At all.
Okay, so why you in the club then? Because you ride your motorcycle, right?
You daggone skip out ride my motorcycle.
Okay, so
well, I got the definition of that. I got the definition
of a brotherhood or a club, a certain brotherhood or a certain club. The next person does too. So what's the problem?
All right, we gotta go to commercial. We will be back to finish this.
Hold on.
Always blazing the hottest music at 106 degrees. Your heat station.
Bringing you the best shows and music 24/7 on your favorite radio.
Yeah, because they feel something because they got told no. That's understandable, but you can't tell everybody yes.
Every Wednesday at 6 p.m. on 106 Live Radio.
You just can't. No matter how hard you try, you can't say yeah to everybody.
Somebody gonna get turned down.
Yeah, it just don't happen.
Somebody gonna get declined.
Got an emergency and you're in need of a locksmith? With over 25 years of professional service in Atlanta, A Budget Lock and Door is #1 for all your security needs. We specialize in commercial, residential, and automotive services, as well as government procurement contracts. We provide service for lock installations and repairs, door and frame repairs, access control installations, CCTV security monitoring, alarm and emergency exit devices, digital and combination safes, car key, ignition switch installations and repairs, and keyless remotes.
You can go live.
Our technicians are ALOA certified, so you can trust our expertise to do the job correctly at an affordable price. For more information, visit us today at 1985 Campbellton Road, Atlanta, Georgia, or visit our website, www.a-bld.com. Call us at 866-298-5625 or 404-753-3355 for any emergency. A Budget Lock and Door, protecting the keys to your security.
Say, man, get it together. We back on, man. What up, man? It's your man, Big Sam, FHOH, and I see you listen to FHO Radio on 106liveradio.com.
You are fighting so hard.
Say, man. Let me say this, man, real quick, man. Everybody needs to understand this. The situation that we're talking about at hand is old. I believe that the coalition has gotten together now. They rectified it. But the question is still a question. My question was, and this has always been to me the elephant in the room, the OMCs run the council. If you have the last say so in anything, if I have the last say so in anything, I don't care how it starts. I get to say yes or no, then I run that particular organization. Now we can downplay it, sugarcoat it, flip flop it, or do whatever. But to me, that's just like if mama say, if daddy say, I don't care what your mama say, everything come through me. And you go to mama, can I go outside? Yeah, but you gotta ask your daddy. So ain't no need to ask him, mama. You might well go straight to daddy. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. Again, we were talking about divorcing the MC. Hold on. Assassin, you still on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other question that you have? We're gonna understand that other question. Like I said, I've said what I had to say. I believe we're on the same page. My thing again, whoever has the last say so is in charge of the whole entire thing. It's just that simple.
And that's what I'm getting at as well.
So we both agree to that, but it is what it is.
Therefore,
all right.
But I love you, Sel. I love you, Smile. Hey, home. Have a good one. And I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the show, man.
All right,
Hey, we're gonna agree to disagree.
Yeah. So, all right. So we agree that when it's time to just leave, it's time to leave. It's time to pack it up and leave.
Yep.
What about those that have? Let me ask this a sentiment. What about those who feel like that? Okay, is there ever a situation where you put in too much time that you can't leave?
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So you can be locked in to something that.
Oh man, that blood, sweat, and tears, that dedication, that standing when nobody else want to stand.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes.
So how do you deal with that? But you know you're supposed to leave, but like
it's your baby.
Yeah.
It's just like having a child. I ain't never had one, but baby, I don't know if I ever walk away from the set.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Well, I mean, like for me, I walked away from the KOTS, from the Kings, but I'm never walking away from the set. I love the set. I love motorcycle.
Right.
I love, all of what it stands for, and my prayer is that one day we can get back to what it is, if we ever can. But my thing of it is this though, a lot of times when people separate, you have some of those people. Well, for example, you have some people who never really, who were jealous of you or never really liked you anyway.
Right.
And now that you're not a part of it, now that they get to actually now, I ain't gonna say speak out, but they get to, what word am I looking for? They get to enforce that or whatever. And that sometimes causes. So, once you leave a club, should there be some time of separation from the set before you come back?
well, I wouldn't necessarily say from the set, but I would say from one club going to another.
Yeah.
Because you got to get that. I think it's just like going, getting out the military. You got to demilitarize yourself.
Okay.
So you gotta get that out your system, because you can't take bad habits that you may have had in one club and take it to another club, because then the problem probably isn't the club. The problem is probably the person, more than likely the person.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people do wrong. They jump from one club and they quick to jump into another, just because it may look, the grass may look greener on the other side of the fence, or somebody been in their ear. But what they're doing is basically taking the problem from one club to the next, and then giving the new club the problem, and they may not necessarily.
Well, let's look at it from this standpoint. Let's just say you were a perfect member, but for whatever reason,
ain't no such thing as perfect.
Well, just say you were it had nothing to do with you being a faulty member.
Okay.
It was just you just either outgrown the club or whatever. You just
That's me.
Yeah, you just outgrown the club, and it was time for you to make that move.
Uh-huh.
What I'm saying is, no matter what goes on, when you leave, whatever rumors or whatever it was, the call it, should you stay away from that for a while? Should you stay away from the set for just a little while to kind of let that die out? Go ahead, Sylvia.
Okay, so for me, this is my second organization. Founder of my first organization.
Okay.
Left twice, went back, and then the last time I walked away, I said I couldn't do it. And my initially, I wasn't looking to join another MC.
Okay.
But I never stayed away from the set. I had a little independent vest, had Miss Cheeks on the back. I was still out doing my thing, and I was approached from a.
Did you ever feel like you got any kind of different looks?
Nope.
No.
Because I know who I am before I put this vest on my back.
Okay.
And that's what a lot of people need to understand.
Yeah.
Who are you before you put the vest on? Because what you bring to the club is what makes the club. Okay. So first and foremost, people got to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
So me being independent out here, I still got the same amount of love, if not more.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Because I know how hard I worked in my first organization. I know how hard I work in the organization that I'm in now. But at the end of the day, when you love it, just because you don't have colors on your back don't mean you stay away from it.
Yeah.
And I didn't stay away from it. But like I said, I was approached from a national organization to lead this chapter in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done. And I've been the president 4 years now.
Yeah. You been 4 years? Damn.
Yes.
Damn, Jay. You said I was 4 years? Well, you just said you've been 72 years, 8 months, so. and I'm saying and today you feeling the scars from an incident, what, that 8 years ago? How long ago was that?
Who?
The hog life incident. How long ago?
Oh man, that was I wasn't even.
I know, but I'm just saying. But you.
No, I'm not scarred. Yeah. No, I'm not scarred. I ain't got nothing but love for the brothers. I mean,
no, I'm saying you're feeling. We're still talking about that. Is to me.
Nah, he just asked the question. Yeah. Nobody said anything about it. Said anything about hog life.
And I haven't 8 years ago.
Yeah, about 7, 8 years ago. 7, 8 years ago.
Like
But I mean, I never felt salty about it. I mean, because like I said, I wasn't even on the board of the Georgia Council at the time. I was just a boisterous president that was hoping that presidents would stand for something in our community, because I'll say it again, and I said it 100 times before. A lot of people that wear presidents on their chest or on their vest, man, really ain't supposed to be presidents. They became presidents by default, or they became president by starting their own daggone club.
By popularity.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily the way to do it. And that's just not the way to do it. And those, and people that do that, they don't stand for anything. They don't stand for anything positive. They'll say one thing, depending on who's listening, and then when somebody else is listening, they'll backslide on what they already done said, instead of standing by what I said before. It's still what I'm saying again now, and deal with it.
So we took you guys through this whole thing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Today was a hell of a show. We've been all over the world. One of the things, again, that and I think Cinnamon Smile said it best, is whether you stay or whether you leave, you still have to be somebody on your own.
Yes.
Yeah, you should be somebody before you even come to any club, your first club, your second club. You should be who you are.
Yes.
And, the colors shouldn't make you. You should make the colors.
That's right.
If you are a given person, you're going to be a given person with, rags on your back or without colors on your back.
How do you feel? Let me ask you this, and I know you agree with me on this, and I'm going to just wait to see. But how do you feel about people just hanging around the MC. That if you can't make if you don't have the time, you don't have the commitment, just come hang out. Just come kick it. How you feel about that?
Well, sometimes it's good if you're looking, but if you're not gonna, shit, get the hell off the pot.
Yeah.
Because like we will always say, this is a closed community.
Yeah.
You don't just hang around Masons. you just don't do it.
You can't just go down to the lodge. Oh, I'm just chilling.
Nah, you ain't gonna do that. They're not having it because either you gonna jump or you're not.
Yeah.
You can check it out for a minute, but you only get a minute.
Okay.
And some clubs just have folks hang around. I'll say it like this. In my club, we'll let you hang around, but depending on the situation, you're not gonna be hanging around for long because we're not gonna open up our arms and open up our doors and stuff, and you may somehow get information that you ain't supposed to get, that ain't supposed to be out there to just know anybody. And if you're not trying to be a part of this, then you go ahead on and think about it and come back when you know what you're gonna do. Some clubs, prospect or however they want to call it, improperly. So if somebody's hanging around, 6 months, year and a half, hey, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do? So if you're gonna hang around a little bit, but don't hang around our community. But a lot of times, I'm gonna say it about presidents again. If you allow that, then you basically allowing the dang-gone wolf in your dang-gone chicken coop. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta put some standards on it.
It's a limitation on hanging around.
It gotta be a limitation.
Even if someone inquires.
I'm talking about independent riders. So
exactly. That's exactly who we talking about.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like you just know that this person will never join the club, but they always around.
They around for the wrong reasons. They around because they want on the glitz and glamour, but they don't want to participate in the other side of the coin. They don't want to get down with the dirty part of it.
It's a total commitment when you're a part of this community.
Yeah, they just got one foot in the water instead of being all the way in the mud.
I got you. Okay, that's interesting. So you make the decision to divorce, stand strong on the decision, be who you are, step away. Me personally, if the time is needed, take the time that's needed, or for whatever reason that you left that MC. What is it, in your opinion, J-Dog? Because I say this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
There is no such thing as brotherhood in the MC. Okay, and the reason why, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why I say that.
Social hood.
It's so much. It's not even. It's a little bit of all of it. But when I say, when I hear people, I'm joining the MC because I'm looking for a brotherhood. Partner. Let me tell you something, partner. First off, you don't even know how to be a brother, to even receive a brother.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of cats, when they holler brotherhood,
they don't know what they're talking about.
It's just like loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know what loyalty is. You don't even know what commitment is. You don't even understand, what any of it is. So I think that the brotherhood part of it is overrated. For me, and we were talking about that earlier. I was going to tell you, I came up with this definition. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
People say, well, what's the difference between owning a motorcycle and being in a motorcycle club? Okay, or riding a motorcycle. If you like to ride and you bought a motorcycle as a hobby, it's cool. You just like to ride motorcycle. You like to get out. You like to hang out. Then that's fine. You don't join no MC.
Not at all.
You join the MC when you love to ride.
Exactly.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? When you love to ride. So somebody said, well, what you mean love to ride? For me, if I gotta go to the store and I go out in the garage and it's my motorcycle or the Camaro.
And you pick the motorcycle.
I'm picking the motorcycle. You understand what I'm saying?
You figure out how you're going to get home what you buy when you get there.
Yeah, but so there is a difference, and I tell people that all the time. You do not join a motorcycle club if you don't love to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
The second part of it is this. Once you make a decision to join a motorcycle club, that means you've already prepared your family, you've already prepared the children, you've already prepared work, you've already got all out the way because, again, understand this. Me personally, I don't take excuses. All that old, your job and your family, your faith, and all that. And again, I'm not telling you that you can't have that. But most likely, most clubs only meet once a month.
Yep.
Right.
Only meet once a month.
Yep.
Club meeting.
Club meeting only once a month. So I only got 1 month, 1 day out of 30 days to see you and to interact with you and to spend time with you. I need that. I need that. I really do. I need that. I need that because I need to see what's going on, what's happening in the whole 9 yards, and I need you to make that commitment. And when people, to me, when they weasel their way out of them commitments, that burns me up.
Oh yeah.
That burns me up because you knew last month when the meeting was going to be this month.
Exactly.
And even if you didn't, you got at least 2 weeks ago. So what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, you knew when you joined this club that at least one Sunday out of the month, I'm gonna have to, go to a meeting. It's the same thing with dues. I have no tolerance for people that don't pay their dues. Well, the president fell on hard times, but if I'm going through something that hard of a time, why can't I pay my dues? Say, player, I'm gonna holler at y'all a little later on.
Yeah. Take it off.
Yeah, I'm gonna holler at you a little later on, man, because right now I got way other stuff that's supposed to be way more important than me riding this motorcycle and being part of this club. So you get so you get the question, well, damn, so you just gonna kick a brother what he done? What he needs us? No, he needs to get his business together.
Yeah, he needs to get his business together. That's exactly right.
Well, I got a question for you, Sal. Since you're no longer a part of an MC, do you think you will ever join another MC?
For me, it's gonna take an MC that can handle me. Okay. What I'm saying is this: is that
you hell?
I'm hell to pay because I know the rules. You can't just
do that favoritism stuff.
We can't. I've always been the one in my MCs. What you mean punish them? Give them the rule book. Give them the bylaws. Tell them to punish yourself. you tell us what you're gonna do. You know what you violated.
Yeah.
Big that ain't gone, but we shouldn't have to go as your brother. I shouldn't have to go through all that. I shouldn't have to be in an emotional situation and we got to make all these. I mean, I love you, brother, but no, man. You assed up.
Yep.
Pick your punishment and get your ass on. You understand? It's
just
that
a lot of people
simple.
don't know about it. They still don't want to take accountability.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying.
Reality,
so for me, this is what I'm trying to tell you. For me, I believe I'm almost at the OMC status.
Wow.
Because and I say that only because of what I think I know. And I still don't know. Only because, and I'm being honest now, because of what I think I know.
Yeah.
But I just know my level of commitment. You feel what I'm saying? My level of commitment for any MC is just harsh because I'm all in. My family is all in. You feel what I'm saying? Let me tell y'all something, man. When you go on Facebook, and I'm gonna say this, when you go on Facebook and you lash out at me, my mom and dad hurt more than me. Because they love the MC set. Because I brought them to the set with me. They gave me permission to be a part of the set. And we embraced the set when I was at the races. Where were my mom and dad at?
Right there.
Right there.
In the VIP
when we was on the street.
Chanting.
When we was out there on the street racing.
Yeah.
Mom and dad was right there. You feel what I'm saying? My whole family. So I brought my whole family to the set. So when we wake up on Facebook and see this big old roundabout, the hell was said, we like, oh, well. You know what I'm saying? So, and understand that. And so when I say that is, I'm just saying my level of commitment and my love and my passion for this set, for what this, because you gotta understand this. I've met some of the greatest people in the world because of my motorcycle.
I agree.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I can strongly
I've met
agree
some
on
of the
that.
greatest people in the world because of motorcycling. I never would have met. I've been places in the world that I never would have been had it not been for motorcycling. You feel what I'm saying? I have way more goods than I do bad. But for me, when it's just like I'm gonna say, and I can use you. It would be hard for this man, and even you right now, for any of us to go anywhere else because we already know the BS.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
I tell people
and the
that
first
all the
time,
time,
can you imagine going somewhere and the first time you'd be like, oh hell no. Man.
Been there, don't want to do this shit.
You understand what I'm saying?
And you know what? I was just speaking with one of the young ladies from Street Angels. She's been on the set 20 years. Yesterday I met her for some bands.
Sinister.
Yeah. And
Sinister.
I mean, we were just talking, chopping it up yesterday, and she educated me on who they were before they became Street Angels.
Yeah.
And we just talked about how people don't know how to be themselves in the community. Just be who you are.
But that's the thing, though.
They didn't know who they were before they.
But that's what I'm saying, and you gotta understand this. And I said this before, and Lord, please don't let me get in trouble. What you guys have to realize is we know who your mama and them is.
Yeah.
Didn't you go to so and so elementary, and then you went to so and so high school? You really need to sit your ass down. The only reason why you ain't getting your ass beat is not because of you, but because of what you got on your back. You understand what I'm saying? And I said that before, and it got all crazy content. So, and I'm not saying anyway. So, what I'm saying is this: the biggest thing with the motorcycle club, and this is what I tell everybody, this is the biggest perception. Why do you think people join the motorcycle club? Because they get to reinvent themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you get to be Killer Mike. You ain't never killed shit in your life. Ain't never let shit die before.
Run from the spider.
You understand what I'm talking about? So, but now you get to put on these clothes, put on these leathers, and rev up this motorcycle. You feel what I'm saying?
That's the weekend person.
You know what I'm saying? You get to rev up this motorcycle.
Alter ego.
And this the thing though. And this the other part. Do you know a lot of men ain't never had a chance to hug beautiful women?
Yeah, until they got a motorcycle.
Oh, wow.
If it wasn't for motorcycling, there'd be a whole lot of virgins out here. There'd be a whole lot of leaky dinglings or whatever. But what I'm
saying, you better stop.
Hey, I'm trying to. So what I'm saying is this, man. You got to understand. That's why when it comes to me, man, I ride my motorcycle. I don't ride because everybody's watching me. Anything I do it from my heart. It's from my heart. And I think even with you dealing with me with this, we don't practice these subjects. I tell her do some homework so that we can know what we're talking about. Right. But don't do no homework to fake a show. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Just do the homework to show yourself approved. But what I tell everybody is I love riding. I really do. And I love going all over the world, man, and seeing people. For example, you pull up in Kentucky and this nigga just like you.
Yeah.
In Kentucky? In saltwater Utah? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The world is, what I'm saying is this. The world is so much bigger than what you think it is.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
But a lot of people won't know that if they stay right here.
If they stay right here. So my thing is this. This is my thing, and I'm gonna tell everybody this. And this is to all of Atlanta. Okay. And I told you guys I'm gonna do a calendar of the top 10 events to go to, my top 10. And I promise, and I tell everybody this. It's a couple of events that if you go to, when you come, they will change your mind about motorcycling. I'm gonna tell you right off the rip. Rare Breed LA,
I'm
baby.
going to the 30-year, baby.
Baby. Rare Breed LA. Whatever motorcycling you thought you was doing, when you go down there and come back, you're gonna kick your whole club in the ass. Arizona Soul Brothers. When you go to Arizona and see all of that, you're gonna come back and be discussing with your motorcycle club. Coming up next weekend, Next Level Juice, Next Level. And I keep saying Juice, the whole entire Next Level, all my partners at Next Level. Another good anniversary. You got Kings of the South. You feel what I'm saying? When you go to these different events and you get out of your own little circle and you see, oh shit, we ain't doing nothing, because everybody in their motorcycle club, when they put their vest on, you can't tell them nothing about so and so MC, Tupac MC.
Everybody confident.
We got 9 members, and we the realest in the world. And boy, if you don't knock it off, you feel what I'm saying?
Till they go and see some
shit. Until you go and see some shit. Yeah. And I'm telling you, man, if you get out here and understand this. What's gonna keep us three always together is we gonna ride our motorcycle.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whatever personal, whatever we don't know about each other, it don't matter, because we gonna ride our motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I don't have to know his background, who he is, his full name, and the government. You ride? Let's ride.
Yeah, let's go.
You understand what I'm saying? Same thing with Cinnamon. Like, and one thing about this riding thing, man, and I'm gonna tell y'all this. One thing, I'm getting chills right now. One thing about this riding motorcycle thing, it's the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah.
It is.
If you
it's
get
a
out
sense
there,
of freedom there.
if you get out there, leave your state, get out there far enough to where you can't go back home. You can't turn around and go back home. Try it.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, try it. Learn how to read a map book. Know why this sign on the highway is green and this one is blue.
Yeah.
Know the difference. Learn how to travel. I tell everybody, it's easy to ride a motorcycle, but learn how to travel on a motorcycle. That's where it all comes into play.
You have some great tips, though.
Yeah, but that's just my thing, man. One of the things, like I said, and in order for us to get this community back together, the number one thing is we got to start riding.
Yeah.
You got to start going out and supporting. When J-Dog says support the community, he's not talking about just Atlanta. No. You got to support the community. You got to support San Diego, California. You got to support Chicago, Illinois, Detroit. You got to support it. You feel what I'm saying? For example, I'm going to give you an example. My heroes, and these are people that I can call at any given time. Highway Smiley, Flacco, Juice. I mean, these are people that I met because of motorcycling. You feel what I'm saying? That I can go stay at their house. I got a room at Smiley House, my own key and everything.
What?
Have you ever been to Smiley House? Harley Davidson. My God, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, the only way you gonna get that feeling, man, is to get out there and go look for it. It ain't gonna come to you. It ain't gonna.
You gotta go get it.
You gotta go get it. And like I said, I know even with you and with your profession, I know. And I told my dad this today. I said, Dad, my boy, the guy that's coming today, he do his thing. I say, but he don't ride as much as he would. But I believe I'd have to watch his ass if he didn't have the job that he had. I believe if he wasn't who he was, I believe I had to watch it. But I ain't worried about it right now. He just a regular old, you know what I'm saying? He's a regular old square right now. But if he didn't have that job that he had, I believe I had to watch his ass.
Business.
It's certain people, man, that I can't stand to see them on their motorcycle. I ain't on mine. Yeah. I'm telling you right now.
Am I one?
I'm gonna tell you one. I'm trying to be like. I'm trying to be like Dirty Ass.
Man!
Wake up, run the daggone Ohio, and run back. I'll be back.
You know why? Because that's that organization that he is. In that organization, make that stuff up, whether you go now or next week, you got to get that. Get that done. And that's what I'm talking about. You gotta love that. Even Greg Street, when you see him out,
he be making them up too.
And I'm saying, Greg, you gotta do that. Y'all gonna make Greg? Do y'all know who Greg is?
He a celebrity.
Y'all know? So we don't give a damn. He gotta go. I'm like, whoa. But I'm just saying, man, the level of commitment. If everybody and all of us, everybody that's listening, all of us, if we agree to bring back the level of commitment to the set, you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Learn the rules, learn the protocol. Okay, quit telling me, well, where's protocol written? I went to every library in the world and I couldn't find an MC protocol book.
But you signed these
who made it and who made this? Who said that that's the law? You don't get that?
All the time.
Oh, okay. I'm just,
not in my club.
Not
in my club.
You ain't having
it. No. Hell no. Hell no.
I mean, and I think for an organization to be solid, like I said, everybody's gonna have problems, but you gotta have a strong sergeant at arms.
I'm gonna tell you,
you're only as strong as your sergeant at arms.
And I hear you. You're right, but you're only as strong as the rules.
Yeah, the rules.
The rules strengthen the club. I don't care. I don't care about no personal issues. None. If the rules say you gotta go,
you gotta go.
You gotta go. When you joined this club, this was the rules that were already in place. I hate people that join clubs and want to change the rules. Anyway, that's a whole other subject.
That's another topic.
Yeah, if the rules say you gotta go, don't call me. No, go. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, man, it's been fun, man. It's another Thursday we here. I'm on the road next week. I'm on the road for the next 3 weekends. The next 3 weeks I'll be back. Cheeks, what you got going on real quick? Let's go. We got about 2 minutes.
Diamond Club's 10th anniversary, August 25th, 26th.
Make sure y'all there. If you ain't with me,
a pool party on
if you
Sunday.
ain't with me, you better have your ass at the Diamond Club.
That part right there.
What you got, Jay?
You need to call me 678-382-1281. Get these $10 bands. We will be airing the Mayweather fight, Prince Hall, Grand Lodge, Old National Highway. Again, my number is 678-382-1281 if you need some bands. Yeah, VIP tables available as well.
What you got, Jay?
Revolutionary Riders ain't got nothing going on but buying gas and burning it.
There it is there, man.
Well, we just did some charity work this week.
Yeah, we did some charity work last weekend. We gave
for me, I got Houston for Soul Brothers. I'll be hosting that event in Houston, Soul Brothers. That's going to be awesome. And I got a couple of other things coming up. Also, I got my cruise. Don't forget, we got the cruise. Hey, man, let's go have some adult fun, man. A Super Bowl cruise. Let's watch the Super Bowl on the ship. Have a good time, man. Contact my girl, Carla. Her number's on the flyer. The logo's on my page, the whole 9 yards. Another thing, man. Let's get back to loving each other, man. Yes. For real. Yeah. Quit telling your friend you don't like them on Facebook, please.
Stop all this unnecessary competing.
Please, I'm begging you, man. Please, man. And understand this. Congratulate a person, man. If you see a person trying, congratulate them in advance. Say, man, look, man, I'm happy for you in advance, man. Whether you make it or not, I'm happy for you and mean it, man. We got to stop doing that, man. I love y'all. It's been fun. FHO Radio on 106liveradio.com where excitement meets diversity 24/7. Special shout out to my host, Jay. My man, Jay. Special Revolutionary Riders. My girl, Cinnamon Smiles. It is what it is, man. It's your boy, man. We here, man. Let's take this thing out. What we got?
What is it?
Yeah. That's it. Good show. Now what I just showed, which one we got to turn now? You ain't paying no attention.
You can sleep when you die. Point blank period.
We gotta turn the music back
no
up.
excuse for this.
The back up.
You only get one life. You only get one chain. You can get more ice. You can get more ice. You can get more cars. Listen to what I'm saying.
They all marked. This one, that studio computer, that stays up. The reason why that stays up is because the other, if he has to switch it over here, that's what, when you see that meter moving right there, that's that. Okay. That is our station right there. That's our station. So that's why that has to be up. This is the one we turn down as we leave. Because this is for us to listen to. In here. Okay. Also, we want to turn these down.
That's the mic button. I mean, headphones.
And then we gotta go back to playlist 1, right?
Yeah, go back to playlist 1. Now at 11 o'clock, it automatically switched over. So you go right here, you can just pick one. And that's that. This is only, all of this is just for emergency only. So that's that. Everything else is down. You make sure everything else is down. That one is the only one that stay up. This one we turn down to a nice little whatever. Make sure that's done. Make sure we unplug everything. All the headphones have been put up. Everything's straight.
And put our stands back in.
Put the stands back. Say, man, all y'all watching on YouTube, I love y'all. It's been fun. Man, thank y'all as always for being guests. Hey, brother. I gotta get you back on.
Thank you, J-Dog.
I think that your strength is definitely needed. Because
just let me know.
I think that's what it takes, man. Like I said, we got to get this thing in order. And the fact that, just hit the stop button. You see it? At the top up there. Right now, we got our decision to go to satellite. So they're just trying to find us a station right now.
Okay.
Once we get that, it's on a whole other level, a whole different get out. But then we get to really get loose.
I understand.